What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the BamaInsider YouTube channel. Look, I'm taking your calls. We are going to break this down. I'm absolutely floored by the performance that Alabama put together. Hey, look, I picked Alabama to lose. So did a lot of other people. So bring it on. I got the phone lines open at 205-850-0883. Our show's brought to you by Westgate Luxury Condominiums right there next to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Entitled Town, right there next to where all of those championships have happened in Tuscaloosa near Bryant-Denny Stadium, near the Strip. I can't believe it. Look, Jersey Dolphins, I know. This offensive line, where did these guys come from? Roll Tide, people. I can't even believe this. But I'm going to tell you right now, let me throw this up here because I just want to say it. Hell yeah. Thank you, Jersey Dolphins. Look, I can't believe it, but you saw it. I saw it. Everybody saw it tonight. Alabama just whooped the Georgia Bulldogs clear out of Atlanta again. It wasn't even close. Get those calls in. Let's talk about this. We'll hear from Nick Saban, defending and undisputed SEC champions. Undisputed. Bama's back in the college football playoff. Roll Tide. Am I being over the top here? I can't even believe what I saw. But as Brett says, it was pure domination of the best team in the country. 41-23. Get your calls in. Let's talk about this thing. I want to hear what you guys have to say. We will hear from Trey is in Atlanta right now for the championship game. Bryce Young won the Heisman Trophy tonight, hands down. Hands down. This is the number one defense in the country. Everybody was talking about these guys. Jordan Davis is Refrigerator Perry. I was looking for Mike Singletary. Everybody told us that this Georgia defense was the next best thing to the 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Thank you, Jersey Dolphins. Let's roll, man. Thank you for the super chat. I didn't say I wanted Alabama to lose. I just said that the way the offensive line and the running back room's been, I didn't think they could win. But look, Brian Robinson didn't have big numbers running the ball. But you know what? He got the job done when Alabama needed it done. Look, this was the type of game. And let me throw this up here. Brett, Roll Tide to you, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. All you guys shooting over those super chats. Thank you. And Roll Tide. This was out of nowhere. Alabama absolutely smoked these guys. They're back in the college football playoff. Numero uno, defending champs. And as I put on Twitter tonight, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Georgia was unable to do that. With everything else that happened, and Chris is here, we're going to throw up the stats and everything else. I'm absolutely floored by what happened tonight in Atlanta. I just didn't see this coming. Nick Saban is the best coach in college football history, and I'm telling you, when you give him a week of everyone doubting, he's going to find a way. What does that make them? 5-1 since 2008 in games where Alabama is the underdog? Unbelievable. I think Georgia still makes the college football playoff. The season's not over. I just didn't see this team as a champion. And I'll tell you what, they proved me and a lot of other people wrong. Although I got my wife in the kitchen right now. She's making me a big plate of crow, and I'm going to eat it very proudly. Saute it. However they want to cook it, I'll eat it because it's going to taste delicious. What a game. All right, guys, look. Everybody's fired up right now. If you want to call, you want to get on the show, you want to talk about it, it's 205-850-0883. I know a lot of you guys are going to want to get on here. So as you get on, make your point and get off so we can get someone else on. But, guys, I want to hear what you have to say. We'll hear from Nick Saban. Again, we got Trey and Tony in Atlanta right now, so we'll get a reaction from the Dome where Alabama, again, has proven that Georgia don't want none of Alabama in their own state. I just can't even believe it, but I'm going right to the phones, and we'll get into this with you guys. Who's this and where you calling from?
Hey, Mick, it's Demetrius from North Carolina.
Demetrius, Roll Tide, man. What did you think of tonight's game?
Well, you said it in your comments, and everybody been saying it. Like Ric Flair said, when you walk that aisle, when you walk that aisle, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Nick Saban and his All-Stars are the man. I'm so proud of them young men. You know, hey, I got a lot of checks. Well, they cashed them checks that I've been writing out there. And to all the Georgia fans, I'm getting ready to go troll them on Facebook here and social media after I get off the phone call. I mean, these Virginians, young men, all year long, ever since about the third game of the year, after the Ole Miss game, after the Texas A&M game. Look at what these young men have faced every week. I mean, some of these so-called loyal Alabama fans dogging out these young men. And, you know, they came through. And shout out to the coaching staff. I mean, I didn't think they had it in them. I thought this was 2019 Clemson National Championship game all over again, 2.0 coaching staff. I'm like, what are these guys doing? I mean, that was my biggest concern. That's my biggest concern with the team. It's the assistant coaches. But, you know, like you said, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to just say this. Everybody need to take note and what they're witnessing right now. Nick Saban is the greatest coach in college football history. What he done for college football is the way it's getting played right now, from recruiting to how you prepare for a game, or whether it's how you work out. I mean, hey, every coach. I mean, every coach that's getting paid right now need to give Nick Saban at least 15% of their salary, because USC hired their coach just for what? Just so he can hopefully possibly go up against Nick Saban. LSU, every school in the country is wanting a piece of Nick Saban and his All-Stars, and they're gonna give it to him. Roll Tide, and I'm gonna enjoy these rest of these callers that's gonna call. I know they're gonna say some dynamic stuff that's gonna blow my mind, and I'm gonna call in on tomorrow call-in show. But let me go so I can get my troll game on.
Hey, go get your troll game on, Demetrius, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night. Roll Tide, my friend from North Carolina. All right, let's go right back at it. And guys, as you hang out with us on the BamaInsider YouTube channel, like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up as we talk about Alabama's big win. And as you get a chance to talk, man, make your point and go on, because I know a lot of people want to talk tonight about this improbable domination in Atlanta where the champs are still the champs. Who's this and where you come from?
What's going on, Mick? This is Jared from Buffalo, man. Listen, man, I lost my voice yelling and screaming at this game and just pure happy and joy. I just jumped in the snow, so I'm really, really cold right now. But, man, this was a hell of a game, hell of a performance by this Alabama Crimson Tide football team. Listen, man, I'll eat the crow. I'll eat that joint. It's going to taste delicious, man. Put some seasoning on that crow. I'm ready to do it, man. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic for this right now. Very proud of the offensive line. Very proud. Because that was the biggest doubt going into this game, was that could this offensive line block Georgia's? Because we struggled blocking Auburn. We struggled with one-on-one. We struggled with help, right? We had miscommunication on the offensive line. And a lot of us underestimated just how big that Auburn game is compared to this. And what we found out is that Alabama could make the adjustments. We found out that these coaches, give credit where credit is due, could make these adjustments. And against this vaunted defense that everyone, including myself, including us, Mick, everyone kept talking about how good this Georgia defense was, and Alabama proved that, listen, man, if you have that electric, prolific offense, you can score on anybody. And to be honest with you, we should have learned this from 2016 when we were in the same position that Clemson had, that Georgia was in back in 2016, when we had arguably one of the best defenses of all time, and yet we could not stop that electric, prolific offense that Clemson had, man. So great win by Alabama.
Yeah, look, I can't even believe it. I mean, like, just the way that they just took it to Georgia. They were down 10-0 at one point, Jarek.
Yeah.
And they whooped Georgia up and down the field after that point.
Yeah, and it was the big explosive plays. And this secondary hasn't really been tested all year round. Why? Because their front seven dominates everyone. But if you can just give Bryce Young a little bit more time, let the plays develop. We have 5-star athletes for a reason, and you saw that when we went for those big explosive plays, their secondary couldn't handle us. We got to remember that Eric Stokes, Richard LeCount, Tyson Campbell, like those are three guys that were drafted within the first 3 rounds of football. So we gotta take that into account. That that's a very young Georgia secondary full of transfers or backup guys. And Bill O'Brien, give credit where credit is due. They took advantage of that, man. They took advantage of the matchups against safety matchups, and they just exploded all over this Georgia defense, especially in the first half.
Yeah, look, it was 10-0, and then Jamison Williams connected thanks to the big throw by Bryce. And at that point, we had a ball game, man. Georgia was never the same after that bomb. Never. They got punched in the nose.
Absolutely. And again, I mean, let's give credit where credit. I mean, Seth McLaughlin had played the game of his life, man, at center. He played the game of his life against Jordan Davis out there, and Jordan Davis was tired after the first quarter.
He was.
But Seth McLaughlin played the game of his life. That man deserves all the credit in the world for commanding this offense, for making adjustments within the offensive line, to giving Bryce Young the correct calls. That young man played one hell of a football game.
Yeah, look, and Chris tells me that we had Bryce Young's aunt in the chats. Yeah, your nephew won the Heisman tonight. FYI, Bryce Young just won the Heisman. Everybody.
Absolutely, Bryce Young, and he deserved it, man. He had to. But can we get Will to New York, man? After that sack, man, that's 15.5 sacks. It's like 32 tackles for loss. Get that man in New York also, man. Let's make that happen. But Mick, I'm gonna let you take all the calls, man. One hell of a win. We might play this team again a second time. We talked about it, so we might play this team a second time. We'll see what happens with the college football playoff rankings. But great win by Alabama and Roll Tide, guys.
Hey, Roll Tide, Jarek. Awesome call, as always, from our man Jarek, an All-American caller from out in Buffalo. Guys, get your calls in, and when you call, just make your point and roll on. I know there's a lot of people that want to jump in after Alabama's dominant win that got them another SEC championship and into the college football playoff tonight. And what a win over a really, really good Georgia team. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Robert from Mobile. I'm going to give my best Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo! Robert, my neighbor, man. We're celebrating down here in LA. I even got Chris in the studio tonight, man. What beautiful weather. We watched the game outside tonight, and I cannot believe what I saw.
Oh, we're all going to have to eat some crow because the old line is going to be serving it for us, and we're going to enjoy every bit of it.
Every bit.
Because this is going to be the sweetest crow we ever ate. That you guys proved us all wrong. That you had it going on, and you had the ability to keep the number one defense in the country from jumping all over your quarterback. And Bryce tonight, the $1 million man, has shown what he can do when he has that extra second.
Hey,
you give him that one extra second, magic happens.
Robert, if you put hot sauce on anything, it makes it good. So I'll take my crow with hot sauce, and I'm going to, like you said, and I'll make sure that you get hot sauce for yours too. This is the best crow I'm ever going to eat, man. Ever.
Bryce Young, again, the Heisman is a foregone conclusion. It's over. Will Anderson made it interesting about winning the Heisman, which again, he should hopefully get invited to New York anyway. But that performance of Bryce Young, I mean, it was next level. His passion was next level. His decision making was all next level. And Jamison Williams, I'm sure he's real glad he hit that transfer portal and came to it and said, well, this is what it's like when you actually win games. He has to get in the game and can actually perform. I mean, it was outstanding. Hopefully Mechie will be okay, but he was having a great game too. And Trey Sanders, let's not forget him. That clutch run on that last drive to get that field goal. I mean, that was the best 10 yards of the game. I mean, that was crucial. It put the game away. And like you said, after that first touchdown by Jameson Williams, no, Georgia was not the same. They were like, oh my goodness, they got that kind of speed on this team, and they went the same after that. It was like it was like showing them something they hadn't seen all season, which they hadn't seen it all season. You know, we kept believing, we kept knowing that the offense had this ability to do it. We just always know that, hey, our offensive line just can't give Bryce Young that extra second that he needs to get that ball off. Because if you give it to him, then magic happens. And that's what he's always been needing. 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds. And a lot of times, especially in the Auburn game, he was lucky if he got 2.5 seconds. When they gave him 3 seconds in that last drive, magic happened again in the Auburn game. And they decided, hey, let's really work together. Maybe we can give them 3 seconds every down. And once they started doing that, I mean, it was just pinpoint passes. Everything was clicking. We'd like to see them to get to work the tight ends just a little more if we can get that in the game. We can get our tight ends because Georgia will kill us with their tight end.
Yeah,
that's what I want us to be doing. The other teams with our tight end, kill them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, the guy was outstanding. Georgia tight end was outstanding.
No doubt, man. Look, I got to tell you about this super chat. There's a show I used to watch when I was a kid. It's called Good Times. The dad on Good Times honestly looked exactly like my dad. I mean, like they had the same face. So every time I watch Good Times, I tell my wife, I'm like, the dad on Good Times, I mean, my dad's white and he was black, but they have the same exact face. And so Dynavine, it's like Dynamite with JJ. I love that show, and I love you for sending me the $99 super chat. Roll Tide to you in Middle Tennessee. Local radio in Middle Georgia. Had us down 3 to 4 touchdowns in this game. Yep, but Alabama's the champ. Thank you so much. We appreciate that more than you know. Thank you.
Yeah, and real quick before I go, it looks like chances are we'll have to repeat this performance again. Because, again, I don't think the only team capable of beating Alabama and Georgia is Alabama or Georgia. Although I think Georgia's a lot less capable of beating Alabama now than I did before. I mean, Nick Saban is definitely Kirby Smart's head, and the whole Georgia team.
It's crazy.
Here. And there's always the two team fan bases I completely understand who despise Nick Saban. That's the LSU fan base and the Georgia fan base. That man has made your lives awfully miserable.
Hey, Robert, man, hold on a second. The thing about it is that this Alabama team is not that dominant. I mean, like, you look at the rest of the season, and hey, look, we struggled to beat LSU. We struggled to beat Auburn. We struggled to beat Arkansas. We struggled to beat But you know what? When the money was on the line, they played their best game. I still think they have to be focused, and they're going to have to play their best to beat Cincinnati. I think that's going to be their matchup in the first round. But You know what? I mean, with that said, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, John Mechie left the game injured. They'll have some time to heal up. Some of the other guys made some plays. Jameson Williams had a hell of a game tonight. It's not easy for this team. But what we saw tonight, Robert, is that when this team wanted it, they got it done. I just can't even believe it, man. I'm handing you the hot sauce for your final comment right now for that crow.
And incidentally, this is the exact same score they beat Georgia by last year. If anybody didn't know that, absolutely. When that was the greatest offense in Alabama history, and they still did the same thing that this offense did. They did the same thing that greatest offense in Alabama history did. Although I think Bryce Young is putting his stamp on maybe being the best, greatest quarterback Alabama has ever had.
He is.
I think that feeling is there for him.
Hey, look, I've said it earlier before the game started. I was telling the guys at my house here, you can't even – what Bryce Young has done this year where he's had to run for his life, I don't think Mac Jones could have done that last year. And I love Mac. I mean, Mac's a great quarterback. But what this kid's able to do, how fast his brain works for a sophomore quarterback, this guy is next level. Man, what a night.
Oh, that lateral pass back to Brian Robinson on that second touchdown, on the second touchdown drive. Goodness gracious, dude. How did you do that?
Oh, man. Sweet. Hey, Robert, call back tomorrow night, man. Roll Tide, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Roll Tide.
All right. Always a great call from my man Robert in Mobile. Look, I'm getting your calls, so just as you hang out with us tonight, like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Let's celebrate this one because it is as sweet as it comes. Who's this and where you calling from?
This is Josh from Fife, Alabama.
Fife. What's up, Josh?
Not much, and I somewhat have a little bit different take of kind of how this season unfolded. And I look at it as the aspect of, yes, this team has sometimes underachieved or seemed as if they couldn't get the things going as well as they should have. But I think we need to stop and take a look back and realize that Alabama had a dynasty that controlled college football for 20 years in the 60s and 70s with what was considered then the greatest head coach of all time that controlled college football like Nick Saban controls college football now. And we get everybody's best shot week in, week out. And we say that we struggled against Arkansas, we struggled against Auburn. Yes, but we get those teams, that's the best they looked all year was against Alabama. And when I talk about Georgia, until Georgia's able to win the big one, I'm never going to worry about us really playing them because you go back to the late 90s, Ray Goff should have had a national championship. You go back to the Aaron Murray team, or even the Matt Stafford team, there should have been some national championships coming out of Athens. It doesn't seem to matter who the head coach is. Until Georgia's able to win the big one, I just don't really get that worried about them because they can hang their hat on their national championship to have, but they had the greatest player in college football at the time in Herschel Walker to win that one. So when it comes to the Georgia game, I didn't feel any threat and really thought that we would come out with a victory like we had tonight.
Look, Josh, I just picked this up. I'm going to show that to you right here. That's what Alabama holds, and they've been holding this for a long time. Look at that championship belt. Right. I know your point. Your point is that to hold this, you got to win that big game, and Georgia hasn't been able to do that. And this is for all those super chats that you guys are shooting our way, William. He said he won $600 on Alabama today. Look, this right here. Look at that. Unbelievable the way that Alabama took it to Georgia tonight, Josh. I am absolutely floored at the way that the offensive line played in this game. If I had a hat on, I would take it off for him. Instead, I'm just going to show you this belt. Look at that right there. I'm listening.
Terrific. And, I've waited. It seemed like with Bill O'Brien that it seems as if the offense has been mismanaged all year by him. It really looks like when we go into the hurry up that things really look great, but then he'll go back to some type of zone run that puts us behind the sticks. But tonight it seemed like the play calling was on point. Of course, Bryce he never gets rattled, but it's the best the running game looked, the best the line looked. And, all that consistency comes together. When it's all happening, when the quarterback's playing like that, the line gets more confident. Everything just comes together. And it happened to come together at the right time tonight.
Yeah. Well, no one thought they could get it done, and there's not a better coach that's ever been on the sideline than Nick Saban, and there's not a better coach that's ever been on the sideline that motivates his guys when everybody else doesn't believe in him. And look, I wanted Alabama to win. I'm glad that, I'm going to have a plate of crow. I'll probably fry it. I'm going to put a little bit of hot sauce on it. But the offensive line has stunk this year. The way that they played against Auburn last week was despicable. You know what, though? They came back, they were focused, and they had their best performance against the best defensive team that they're going to play all year long. And they may have to play these guys again. I'm not worried about what's going to happen next. I'm just enjoying what we did tonight. But I'm going to tell you something. These guys, when it was championship time, played like champions, and I'm really proud of them for that. Unbelievable. The offensive line deserves the MVP of this game.
Right. You're right about that.
So
it was a
unbelievable.
fantastic game.
All right. Well, anything else before we get to the next caller? And thank you for calling us, by the way, from Fife. Hey, roll tide, my friend. Thank you for calling in, Josh.
Roll tide.
Roll tide, man. Another championship for Alabama. Guys, like and subscribe as you hang out with us on the BamaInsider YouTube channel. Right back to the phones as we wait on Nick Saban's comments after the game. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Mick, what's up, man? This is SPH. This is Sean from Huntsville.
What is up, dude? I am enjoying my crow, man, and I love every bit of it. Yum, yum.
Sir.
What a night.
Man, first, let me start this off by saying glory to God. We give all the glory to him. Secondly, let me say, I'm all for giving credit where credit is due. Shout out to Georgia, great team, best defense in the world, all of that. I want to give I'll give great flowers to Chris Owens, man. We was all on him really bad, rightfully so. But Chris Owens came through, man. He came through. He played his you-know-what off. The whole entire offensive line played absolutely outstanding. I want to give all those guys their flowers. Those guys did a great job, man. A great, great job. I got to tell you the truth about these guys. Secondly, the defense, man. I want to give a big shout out to everybody on defense. Those guys played well. What can you say, man? What can you say? It's a lot of people out there right now that's sick. Let me make sure I give them a little bit of their own medicine. There's a lot of people out there right now that's feeling nauseous. I want them to enjoy that. I want them to enjoy all of that. You know what I'm saying? The whole world, I think every pundit out there picked against us, talked bad about us, how we wasn't this, wasn't that, it was over for us. I want them to enjoy that feeling that they're having tonight, man. Never doubt a champion, bro. Never doubt the heart of a champion. You know what I mean? Let me say this, too, real quick. And I speak for all Bama Nation when I say this. When you hear Bama calling in and we all upset about how, about the play of the team, we're upset about, how we've looked. I say to everybody that don't really understand, it's not that we're hating on the team. And for what it's worth, we never were really worried about Georgia as far as, I guess I should say, we worry more about our own team and how they play as opposed to worrying about Georgia. Every Bama fan that I know of was more concerned about the play of our team. Our team. That's what everybody was upset about. How in the world can we look this many sacks? How in the world can we look this way? How in the world can we look that way? So that's what everybody was concerned about. We gave Georgia their love. We gave Georgia their credit. We was worried about our team. We put it together tonight. You got to give the fellas their flowers. It's roll tide on mine for death, man. Let's go get this thing. Shout out to Jamison Williams, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Great job. Bryce
What a game.
Young, yeah, man. What a game, man. What a game. The offensive line came. And let me say this. One more person. Bill O'Brien.
Get him.
Finally, he runs some misdirection. Finally, he runs some bubble screens. Yeah, man. Finally, you get it to B-Rob on the perimeter. Man, thank you. Thank you to everybody who I guess he been listening to the show.
We begged him. We begged him,
brother. So listen, man, I want to say roll tide to the entire chat. All you haters out there that was in the chat last week talking all that stuff, we love y'all. Come on back through. But eat this crow now.
Hey, Sean, Sean, where's that Ohio State guy that I see in the chat all the time? Where is he right now?
Yeah, don't hide. Look, Mick, this is what I told him. When I'm a moderator, I said, I don't mind you talking whatever you talk. All I ask of you, don't hide. Man.
Yeah. Come on back tonight, man. Where you at?
Yeah, there you go. Where you at? So listen, great show, baby. I'll be in the chat. Roll tide to everybody. It's a great night. Let's enjoy this, man.
Sean, you are an All-American caller. I expected to hear from you tonight. Call me tomorrow night. We got a little more time to talk. And look, I want you to send this from me, just like last week, to everybody in Rocket City, right? From Decatur to Muscle Shoals to Madison and Huntsville, I want you to send a hearty Roll Tide. Thank you, man.
Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide, bro. Sean and Huntsville bringing it. All right, guys, listen. Come in with the gas because there's a lot of calls waiting to get on tonight. Like and subscribe as you hang out with us on the Bama Insider YouTube channel after what has been a sensational night for the Crimson Tide, and they punched their ticket to defend their champs. Who's this and where you calling from?
This is Bryce Young's aunt, and I'm calling from Atlanta.
What's up? Roll Tide.
Hi, Roll Tide. We showed up, and we showed out. Yes. We came, we scored, and we on to the next. Yes. Bryce might be a quiet assassin, but his family, we are going crazy. Y'all, you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm Bryce Young's aunt. I'm his dad's older sister, and I'm telling you, my nephew, y'all was talking all types of mess about my nephew. So guess what? I'm here to talk mess. I'm here. Y'all talk about his size. Y'all talk about, he's all high.
It wasn't me. Look, I never said anything about him. Look, Aunt, Auntie, I said he didn't get any help from the offensive line.
No, y'all was talking about
it wasn't me.
Yes, y'all was.
Not me.
Bama was talking about.
Not me.
Y'all was. And he lived up to the hype. That we showed up and we showed out and we gave Bama the win.
Oh, yes. I know. Look.
That's my nephew, Bryce Too Nice. Bryce Too Nice.
Too nice. Look,
yes.
I'm not the
yes.
I said he's the greatest quarterback ever.
He's a young man, and you cannot beat him. He's too smart. Nobody can beat my nephew. He is going to take that Heisman trophy probably 2 years in a row. I want y'all to take y'all popcorn out and watch him go to the top.
I hope you're right.
I don't care how big, how small. He is amazing. He is amazing. Did y'all see that?
I saw it.
Did y'all see how Goliath won? Did y'all see that?
I love him.
Did y'all see that?
Look, I've said, and I mean, if you watch me, I've said that I wish the offensive line gave him a little bit more help because the guys made this team this year. Without him, I don't know how many times I've said it.
Didn't protect my baby.
They didn't, but they did tonight.
He still juked.
They
guess
did.
What? He juked it. You see that? He scrambled. He went to the score. You feel me? He knew he wasn't protected, but he's an elite player. So guess what? You go to plan B, and then you go to plan C, and then you get the win. You hear me? We have nothing but excellence here. And then there are people talking about, he's not going to play that good because of the endorsements. Let me tell you something. His father, my brother, is a doctor. His mother has his master's degree. You hear me? So we've always had money. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's just a cherry on top. That's just the cherry on top. But guess what? He's not lacking in nothing because you guys see him give all praise to God each and every time. So he's going to win each and every time. Like I said, I just wanted to tell y'all, whole Alabama, y'all was talking all that mess and talking about Cali. Guess what? We came from Cali. We showed up. We showed out. And now we on to the win. We're going to take everything, all of it, everything. Because guess what? He is everything that the hype said he was. You see, you know how cold he is? You know how cold Bryce Too Nice is? First, he was committed to the Trojans. Then he did commit it. They came, they wanted him, and they got the golden goose. And guess what? We going to the top. We going to the top. He going to the top. You know how cold he is? He's so smart. He can look across that freaking field and he can see and tell where the pocket is and how to get the main thing y'all talking about. Well, this and that. At the end of the day, he makes the win. He makes the scores. At the end of the day, it's all about the number that wins the game. It's not how you play it, it's how you get the win. And like I said, if he got to juke, if he got to run the ball, if he got to run a little bit because they're not doing their job, You understand what I'm saying? They have to reach up to his level. No matter how tall he is, y'all said he's too small. But guess what? That worked in his favor. Y'all can't stop him. Like I said, guys, thanks for this time. But y'all get y'all big box of popcorn out and watch him complete the rest of the game. And I'll see y'all next year for the second Heisman trophy he wins. You guys have a blessed day. I'll be back in the chat.
All right, Auntie. Hey, look, you keep saying we. It wasn't me. I've always loved this guy.
Yeah, okay.
You know me. I said I
you.
just wanted them to block a little bit more. But listen,
okay,
we're all proud of him. We are all really
Yep.
proud of what he's able to do.
Bama needs to show him love.
Oh, they love
Bama
him.
was talking
They love him.
trash about
No.
my nephew, and he came from Cali.
There was probably
showed up,
Georgia
and
fans.
he showed out.
I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him. It's been the offensive line and the run game that we were probably a little bit suspect. Bryce has made this team. Listen, I was telling Chris, I was telling Chris, my producer, before the game started today, and one of our other friends who was here, I think he's the best quarterback Alabama's had. And I'm not taking anything away from Mac. I'm not taking anything away from Tua or Jalen, but his ability to move around in the pocket and find guys downfield, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that could have dealt with an offensive line.
He came in as a dual threat.
I know, but you know what? It's his.
What the dual threat isn't just an easy title again. They just don't give that to anybody, so he used it.
You know what?
1, 2, 3. He just didn't stand in one spot. That's not a dual threat. A dual threat means we're going to do A, B, or C until we get to the goal.
Yeah.
Period. And that's what he does. He's not going to wait for you to. If I see that you're not protecting me game after game, guess what? I'm going to figure out what I can do to go around these losers that's not protecting me. You understand me? So guess what? He did. He got up out that pocket, and they can't do nothing when he gets up out of that pocket.
Nope, except he just finds people downfield to throw it, or he'll run when he needs to. Hey,
because he's too smart.
He's smart.
He got a 4.0.
He
After
is.
all this stuff, he still has a 4.0.
Oh, no doubt.
You can't beat him. He's a dual triple threat, and then you see him get down on his knees and praise God first. You can't beat him.
Yep.
You can't beat him. You can't beat him. Nobody can beat him.
Yep.
That's just in him. That's him. My brother is kind of just like that, like a meek person, but he's very powerful.
Right.
He's just like his father, And like I said, my brother is just the best. I'm like and Bryce's grandfather is a doctor. So and then we have my grandma, which would probably be Bryce's great-great-grandma, was one of the first teachers in Alabama. So we have lineages here too. But yeah, my family worked hard, we play hard, and we don't accept nothing but the best. You go hard or you go home, and we ain't going home. We going to NYC to get that trophy.
That's right. Hey, Auntie, roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide.
Great call. Bryce Young's aunt calling in, bringing the heat. And if you're going to bring the heat, make it quick. Get in, get your point. Guys, as you hang out, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Roll Tide to everybody out there as you hang out with us on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. I'm trying not to be giddy. I'm trying not to be too happy. I can't help it, though. Look, I graduated from Alabama. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Amanda, and I'm calling from Bruton, Alabama. And I'm here to say I am beyond proud of our team. They came through when they needed to. They showed up, like his auntie said, they showed up and they showed out. I'm so proud of Bryce. He is a phenomenal quarterback. And I hope that the Heisman people that are watching will recognize him and not hold it against him, because they always seem to overlook Alabama quarterbacks. He is a very focused player. He does things that most football players can't do. I mean, he's calm. He doesn't get rattled. He did a great job. And also, I want to say that I am praying for Mechie that everything works out for him and his injury heals properly and he can be in this next game. I am so proud of our guys, and I just want to say, roll, Tide, roll.
Hey, look, he won the Heisman tonight, Amanda. It's
he
over.
Has to.
There's no more drama. We were kind of wondering if he would win or he wouldn't. He won it tonight. He just ripped through the number one defense in the country like a hot knife through butter. I mean, like it's over. I mean, if anybody that votes on the Heisman Trophy doesn't vote for him, they need to get their voting revoked because by far he's the best.
He did it tonight.
Yeah.
He sewed it up.
He got it done.
Opinion, he sewed it up.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
He did.
What a game
I'm so
for
proud
Alabama.
of him. I understand his aunt being proud of him, but the only thing I disagree with on what she said is I think all of our players played their hearts out. I don't think anybody was trying to let any of the players get to Bryce. It's just the game. It's the nature of the game.
Well, look, Bryce bailed
good.
that offensive line out, Amanda, week after week. The offensive line played one hell of a game tonight. They gave the guy time in the pocket, and you know what he did? He ripped through Georgia because of that. You know, I was surprised that Georgia didn't try to blitz more in the first half, but you know what? That's Kirby Smart's game plan, and you know what? That's their problem to deal with. But I'm going to tell you right now, the offensive line looked like an offensive line tonight, and they won the MVP of the championship game if I'm giving it out. And they gave Bryce the time that he needed, and he took care of business. Period.
And everybody was saying, you know, everybody just all week long, all I've heard is we're going to be slaughtered on the field. We're going to get slaughtered. Georgia's going to kill us. Hey, it didn't happen. We won.
Somebody got killed, but it wasn't Alabama.
We are the SEC champions.
I know. Look, I can't even believe it. Honestly, Amanda, I can't believe it.
I knew from the first quarter it was ours. It was ours. They did good. They did great. They did phenomenal. I'm so proud to be a Roll Tide fan.
Well, thank you for calling in from Bruton. You're not too far from us here. I'm in Fairhope tonight, so that's where I'm at. So we're down here in LA. Yeah, not too far away.
Yeah, we're in the LAist. We're right on the line.
Yeah. I know where Bruton is. I had a buddy that played tight end at Alabama. That's from Bruton. So I know all about Bruton, and I appreciate you calling in tonight. Roll Tide.
Thank you so much. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide, roll. That's Amanda from Bruton. All right, guys, as you hang out with us tonight, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the site if you're not already a subscriber, and do all that stuff. And tell me where you're calling from, who's this, and where you calling from tonight.
My man, Mick, Nate from Georgetown, Kentucky, brother.
What is up, Nate? You got to be happy up there in Kentucky.
Hey, got my finest bourbon. Enjoying tonight.
I'm going to pull some down off the shelf. I got a brand new bottle of Woodford up there that Chris and I will probably have to have a shot. We're going to have to do that. Yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous occasion, wouldn't you say, Nate?
Absolutely. I tell you, just watching this game tonight, and especially falling down 10-0 early, I didn't know what to expect. I was very optimistic, but at the same time, I was trying to prepare for whatever happens. But, at the end of the day, man, this one feels damn good. As good as any of these SEC championships have felt lately. Probably even better, just the simple fact that, nobody was really thinking we'd come out on top tonight.
Dude, I didn't see this coming. I'm going to be honest, Nate. I didn't see this coming. But when I saw the intensity that Bama brought to this game, I realized that team that went down to Auburn last week and was timid through 59 minutes of that game, the Iron Bowl, wasn't the same team that rolled to Atlanta. This was a beast that went to Atlanta tonight. This was a champion that went to Atlanta. This was a team that said, hey, you know what? This is our belt, and we're not giving it to you unless you earn it. And Georgia wasn't able to do that.
Well, let me ask you this. I almost feel too, going into Auburn last week, obviously we're expected to win that game. All the pressure's on us. I kind of felt like tonight we were just kind of loose and like, hey, let's go. We got nothing to lose. Let's get after them. And we played loose and played hungry.
Yeah, look, it started with the offensive line, though. I mean, Georgia's all we've heard about. And look, and it's not just all we've heard about, like Georgia isn't a great defensive line. Georgia's defensive line is great. They're great. And they came into this game expecting to get pressure on Alabama with the 4 guys up front, which they've been able to do all year. They've played the same teams Alabama's struggled against, and they've whooped their ass. I mean, look, I'm sorry, but that's what's happened. Bama struggled against Arkansas. They killed them. Bama struggled against Auburn. They killed them. They haven't had a game since the beginning of the season when they played Clemson. We've struggled every single week. LSU's a tough game. Auburn, it was lucky that Alabama won. Look, I'm sorry to say it, but it was luck. If Tank Bigsby doesn't get pushed out of bounds, Alabama doesn't win that game. Arkansas, back and forth and back and forth. LSU, I mean, as dumb as their old coach Ed Orgeron is, and I'm not a fan. I I think the guy's a moron, but you know what? He won a national championship, and you know what? It was a game. That guy's so that he walked out like he won. They lost by 6. They played a good game. They didn't win. They weren't the better team. But you know what? They did hang in there with Alabama. And you go through the schedule, Georgia didn't have any of those games. So going into this one, you're thinking, well, you know what? The offensive line's probably not going to block. We're going to have issues, da-da-da. And that's not what happened tonight. Alabama went into that game, and it was like, you're not coming in here and taking this championship from us. We're the SEC champs. And you guys are not getting it without a fight. And Georgia just, when they got punched in the mouth, when Jamison Williams caught that big pass to make it 10-7, and their nose got bloodied, they rolled into the fetal position, and it was over. Alabama rolled them, and that's a fact. That's what happened.
Mick, man, you're spot on as always, for sure. 2 quick things. I know you got a lot of people calling in. I'll get off here and listen, let these other folks get on and talk. But first off, when you're in Lexington, bourbon's not. When you come back to Kentucky, I'm in Georgetown, right here, close to Lex. Bourbon's on me, my man. And secondly, give a quick shout out to my boys, Jake and Brady, listening from the basement. Love you, boys. Bama all day, every day. And Mick, man, let's enjoy it. We got, playoff talk tomorrow, see what happens. Hey, whatever happens, we got the GOAT on our side, Coach Saban. Love him. That's why my dog's name's Saban.
Nate,
roll damn tide, brother.
Listen, Nate. Listen, Nate. I need you to have a neat shot of a very good bourbon tonight. I want to send you a viral high five and a roll tide, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. You the man, Mick.
Thanks, brother.
Meet up, brother.
Let's do it, man. Take care.
Hey, man.
That's Nate from Georgetown, Kentucky. Let's go right back to the phones. I know you guys want to get in, make your point, hit the like and subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. I'm eating crow. I hope a lot of you guys are enjoying this one. Alabama with a dominant win over Georgia, back in the college football playoff. And let me say this to Chucho Mason for the super chat. Hey, man, thank you. Roll Tide. And Danko Hawkins, super chat. Roll Tide, man. We appreciate those super chats more than you guys know. That's how I keep my keg filled back here. I got a kegerator. Chris is in studio tonight for this. And when you come here and you work for me in the studio, you get all the free beer you want. So, look, I'm just joking. Really, Roll Tide, everybody. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm so glad that we're all hanging out here and enjoying this Alabama victory together. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Joe from Elliott City, Alabama.
What's up, Joe?
What up, St. Nick?
Roll
How are
Tide,
you
man.
today? I just want to make a couple points. His aunt, very animated. I don't blame her. Bryce is going to win the Heisman. I've said it all year since the first game. But a couple things I want us to talk about. One is we won long before a single player has gotten here. She said some things kind of disrespectful about the team. We won long before anybody's gotten here from California. And number two, she called some of our players losers. That wasn't very cool. The first thing he did after the game was he congratulated the offensive line on playing a great game, which they did. And I'm just thrilled about the win. I just want to say those couple things there.
Hey, look,
and here you go.
let me tell you something else, Joe. Alabama's running Gonzaga right now. Chris, what's the score, Chris? 34-21 in basketball. Wouldn't this just be a fabulous night if Alabama beat Gonzaga in basketball and Georgia in football on the same night? I'm just throwing that out there.
I called it earlier.
I'm just throwing it out there.
That we were going to do that. I was like, this is our night. I had Alabama picked all the way on this game. Georgia has not played the same schedule that we played. I mean, the West is a bit tougher, and we've had to play week in, week out. We get everybody's best shot. That is a fact. They run plays that they usually don't run. And I got to say, one more thing. Bill O'Brien, I got to say, I was kind of skeptical about him. He called the game of his life tonight.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I think Pete Golding, sometimes when he's on, oh my God, is he on? Like he is on when he's on. But sometimes he makes a few brain freezes to keep it PG. And but we got just as many 5 stars as Georgia, and all week we've had to hear how they were so much better than we were. So I'm just happy about the win. I just want to say those few things, Mick. And I know there's a lot of callers. I've had to wait like 30 minutes to get on here, and I'm gonna let you get to them. All right,
hey,
roll
listen,
Tide, buddy.
Thank you for waiting, and roll Tide, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, guys, I want to go right back to the super chats, and I want to tell you, Sean, thank you for the super chat. High five to you. Ant, thank you for the super chat. All of you guys for hanging out with us. I'm going right back to the phone lines again. I know all of you want to get in and say something about this game, but like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Bama's the SEC champs. Out of nowhere, back in the college football playoff. Who's this and where you calling from?
Man, this is Mike, man, from California, man. What's up with it?
What's up, man? Are you from Oakland?
What you been up to? You know this. You know who this
that's
is,
what I
Nick,
thought.
man. What's happening with you, bro?
What's up, dude? Man, look, I'm too happy right now.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me solve all these issues for everybody online. And yes, please like and subscribe. My dude, go in. The whole BamaInsider team go in. Let me tell you something. I told my partner about 40 minutes before the game started. I said, man, I think Bama about to win by like 10 points. Everybody was like, bro, man, how you saying that, man? They don't even give up more than 7 points a game. And I'm like, well, I think I think the way Will Anderson hold down that line over there on that other end, that quarterback, they're going to have to go to the other side. I feel like they don't maybe about two interceptions. And I told my partner, I think they're going to throw a pick six. I put this on everything I love. I'm not bullshitting you, Nick. I told my partner this very thing. Next thing I say, Nick Saban is a beast. Like, he is really a beast. Everybody talking about Bryce Young. That is my boy. That's my nephew, Cali boy, and everything. But last year, everybody was wondering why Mac Jones beat out Bryce Young for the starting job. I think it's because Nick Saban was so smart and looked ahead so efficiently that he knew Bryce Young would be the perfect quarterback for this raw, I ain't going to say immature, but not seasoned team that we got this year. And boy, has he showed up in being the exact quarterback we needed for this raw team this year. Next thing, Georgia. Y'all fans, man, y'all can't be looking like that on screen on TV, man. I'm just saying. Y'all can call in and be typing in and messaging in on chats and everything y'all be wanting to say about everything y'all done seen throughout the year with y'all team. But when y'all get beat up in the SEC championship like y'all did today, y'all got to find a way to improve the way y'all look on TV. Damn, that looked bad. Mick, man, I'm gonna get off the phone. Let everybody get on. Hey, big ups to Bryce. Big ups to Bryce Young, Auntie. I know we get a little hysterical and outside our genes sometimes, but them sisters got our brothers' backs real tough.
Hey,
real Cali life, baby. Roll Tide.
Hey, Roll Tide, man. Great call. Look, I got to throw this. First off, thank you, man. Always great to hear from you, Mark. Let me throw this super chat up from Mark G. Heart of a champion. I love my Bama guys. Can you get that up there for me? See if I can do it. There it is. Thank you guys for the super chats. Chris and I are in here, and we get the super chats, and I mean, it's like we're throwing a party in here. And this is a party, man. I mean, look, SEC champs. Nobody thought Bama was going to hang in there. And for those of you guys that are waiting on the phone, I'm going to get you on. I don't have anything else to do. I'm in the home studio right now. We're going to hear from Nick Saban, I think, eventually, but right now, this is the post-game party. We're partying right now. So get your comments ready, make your points, and then we'll hear from you and then skip on to the next caller. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Evans calling from Georgia.
What's up?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey, I just want to send out my congratulations to the University of Alabama football team. Believe it or not, I had a conversation with some of the guys here. I said, all year Georgia's been rock solid, but I still question their secondary. Their secondary got exposed. And if nobody don't believe me, just watch the Tennessee game. The Tennessee game exposed them. Going forward, we know Georgia and Alabama will be in there in the college football playoffs, and they might meet for the third time. But just going forward, Bryce Young, congratulations. He's rock solid. They definitely got a Heisman Trophy winner, and I hope in New York they congratulate this man because he's been lights out from day one.
Are you a Georgia? Is it Georgia your team?
No, believe it or not, I live here in Georgia, but I'm a Hale State, Mississippi State.
Okay.
So, I'm an SEC fan, fanatic. So, I'm just an SEC fan. So whoever wins, the SEC wins.
Yeah.
But
I got you, man.
In Georgia. I'm a retiree. So
that's cool. Well, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. This was Bama's game.
First time being on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, look, this is the best game Bama's played all year. I mean, it's been a struggle to get here.
I agree. And, and what was so crazy about it, that Alabama played with less because they didn't have no run game. And Georgia couldn't expose that. They couldn't capitalize on that. And, and like I was telling some of my coworkers, hey, look, just because they played Auburn in 4 overtimes, you got to understand that that's a rivalry game. Auburn could be 1-8 going in that game, and they're going to give Alabama their best. But when you play against Alabama, everybody's giving Alabama their very best.
Every game.
At the end of the day, Alabama, Nick Saban, they are the creme de la creme in college football, and it is what it is. They are the favorite to repeat as national champions. I'm just gonna call it like I see it.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Roll Tide. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, and have a good one.
You too. All right, man. Great call. All right, guys, as you hang out with us, like and subscribe. And for all of you that are shooting over the super chats, I love you guys. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I love you for doing the super chats, hanging out with Chris and taking your calls. Hopefully we'll hear from Nick Saban, but I'm enjoying this. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, man, this is Brent from Toombs County, Georgia. I just want to go ahead and tell you, go Dogs.
Go Dogs, yeah. Look, it's not over yet for the Dogs.
Look, man, Alabama played their best game of the season. But check this out. They played their best game of the season against the Dogs. The Dogs have had the best season in college football. They've been the number one team in college football, and we're still the number one team in college football. We got outplayed. That's all you got to say. We got outplayed. We didn't get outcoached. We just didn't show up. Yeah, look, I didn't expect to see what I saw tonight.
So I'm sure that they didn't expect it. But you know what? The crazy thing is that the season's not over for the Dogs or the Crimson Tide. I mean, one championship's, been given out, but there's the big one's still out there. So, I'm expecting Georgia to bounce back. Let me ask you this. Did you want to see the mailman in there, or did you want to see JD get a chance to play?
Listen, Stinson, when he showed up, he did his thing throughout the season. All season, I've been saying that the biggest test coming into this game was going to be what can Stinson do?
Mm-hmm.
What could he do against in this caliber of a game, this caliber of a team? And like everybody else has said, and like you said, we've rolled every team that Alabama struggled against.
Yeah.
Every team y'all struggled against, we rolled. But coming into this game, we all know this is the SEC championship. This is the national title game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever goes on after the fact, this was a national title game to me. I'm heartbroken, but at the same time, like I said, this was the game to see what Stinson was going to do. He almost looked like a deer in the headlights. I wanted to see JT come in, and I think Kirby made a mistake by not putting JT in. Stinson, when they threw the pick six, I was screaming. I was telling everybody around me, "Hey, we about to see JT come in, see what he can do." He didn't put him in, but that's been that's been their MO. Kirby has with the quarterback situation, he's done that consistently with Fields. He did it with my boy from Washington. He did it with Fromm, and I don't even left my name. What his name was. He's done it, but I think at this point they're gonna put Georgia in. Alabama put it. I think they'll put us to 2, put Alabama at 1. If all goes as planned, we'll meet each other again at the college football national title game. I think you got to put JT in.
Yeah, I was just curious about that. I got a lot of respect for Georgia. I think they're a really, really good team. Part of it's like convincing kids that you can lose. Alabama's got to deal with this a lot. I mean, think about what Nick Saban's been able to do in his time at Alabama. College football kids, they're just young guys, and it's like Georgia hasn't had a close game since the very beginning of the season. It's hard to go out and say, hey, man, these guys can beat you and convince them about that. I think Georgia's going to be a better team having lost this game. I really do.
It goes back. We felt the same feeling we got right now. It's been, since the college football playoff, the playoff era. And at the same time, it's like you said, it's just going to come down to whatever the committee decides tomorrow. I was telling everybody, right after the game that they were going to knock us out. And if they knocked us out, I wouldn't be surprised. They're not going to do that, but I really wouldn't be surprised because the game we played tonight, we don't deserve to be in the top 10. The number one defense coming in, we look like we've never seen a football. But I knew Alabama was going to bring that game. It happens every time we play. And the series is 40-something, 20-something?
Yeah, I don't know what the total series is, but
it's 42 to 21 with 4 ties, whatever it is.
Yeah. I was at the game. Look, I was at the last time Georgia beat Alabama. I still can see that pass in the corner of the end zone from Matt Stafford to beat Alabama. I was right there. I was at that game, and I was at the blackout game in 2008. And that was one of the best nights of my life. And I'm going to tell you something. That's the night that I realized that Athens, and don't get mad at me, Alabama people, but that was the night I realized Athens is the best college town in the SEC. Because after that game, we went out and everyone was cool, and we had one of the most fun nights that I can ever remember, man. Athens has so many cool bars and people were great. And the fact that everybody wore black, I couldn't believe it. Like that the whole stadium, I wore white as an Alabama guy, but I think Georgia comes in probably at number 3 and they play Michigan, and Alabama, it'd be number 1. They'll play Cincinnati, and then we'll win and play each other again, and we'll see what happens, And
that's probably what's going to happen. That's probably what's happening. Like you said, shout out to Bryce Young. I mean, I think what y'all saying is right. He's going to win the Heisman. This is like his, that I know of, this is his second game with almost 500 yards I mean, the dude's a stud.
Oh, he's good,
He
man.
really is. But and no disrespect to Alabama. I mean, I hate all y'all. I really do. but Alabama played again. I wasn't surprised at how they played. I knew this was going to happen. This was going to be a game. We get Alabama's best. Y'all got Georgia's worst. But I'm going to get off here and let everybody get back on. We're going to see y'all again, and it's going to be a different outcome the next time we play. Hey, go Dogs.
Hey, great call, man. Thank you. I know it's a tough night for you. I appreciate it, though, really.
Yes.
Hey, look, great call. Look, the guy's he's a Georgia fan. But you know what? Much respect for that kind of call on this show tonight after, you get your heart ripped out, but you call in and there were no obscenities, a lot of logic there, and still a lot of hope. And what I want to tell you guys as I go right back to the phones again is that I appreciate you guys a lot, man. Please like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up as we hang out with you on the Bama Insider YouTube channel and take your calls. All right, let's go right back to the phones again. Who's this and where you calling from?
Hey, Mick, it's Jay in Atlanta. How are you?
Jay, what's up, man? I know you got to be pumped.
Drago bleeds.
Hey, look, I told you, like Drago, he did the steroids, and Rocky still beat him.
Dude, he bleeds. You see, he is a man. He ain't a machine. Dude, when we spoke last week, what I said. Sorry, I'm moving. I'm moving.
No, look, man. Just pretend. I'm going to pretend you're Paulie. You're Paulie. You're Paulie. And you're telling Rock. You just tell Rocky right now.
Yeah. So last week when we talked, 95% of the people calling in were like, "This ain't going to get it. This ain't going to win. Our own line or this or that." And I made one point. That Georgia hadn't played, Georgia hadn't been tested, Georgia hadn't been in the trenches. And exactly what happened is what happened tonight. What I said was going to happen, they were getting punched in the face, and from the second they got punched, they bled, and they quit. That team quit. Georgia quit. Where was the almighty running refrigerator, where was that D-line? Where were these beats all week? All week I'm watching ESPN and I'm watching YouTubers, and it's the changing of the tides and all these dumb puns, the passing of the torch. All week I listened to it. Was it one ESPN analyst? I had to turn to like Shannon Sharp for hope. Everybody on SEC Nation, everybody, Feinbaum's and everyone. This is it. There's no getting around this historic defense. No getting around this Georgia team. I got to listen to every Georgia YouTuber, every pundit scream and holler about this is it. It's over. Statistically impossible. Look at a 33% chance on the ESPN ratio meter that Bama's got. All week long, we're listening to this. The crow is going to go extinct after tonight. They got to eat so much of it. Like I haven't heard. I need to hear Georgia fans taking a knee right now. I want you. There's apologies due from Dog Nation. The amount of trash talking that's been going on, the amount of complete and utter disrespect. Like, I mean, don't call in and talk about you're still number one. You got the same score hanging on that scoreboard as you got last year against Mac Jones in Tuscaloosa. Like, y'all didn't come close. Yeah. So we've kept it bottled up. We've kept quiet. We stay humble. But when it's over, it's over. And the fat lady sang tonight. Man. The fat lady sang. And we're done being humble because we've been taking it on the chin week in and week out. Listening to ourselves. Listening to our own Bama Nation doubt and not believe that the hope was there. Not believe that the chance to have this game was there. But time and time again, Georgia lays an egg. Listen to me, Dog Nation. I've seen it my whole life. I grew up in Atlanta. My whole life, year in and year out. Georgia lays an egg. One game a year, they lay an egg. And where did they lay it tonight? Right smack dab in the middle of downtown Atlanta. They went out of that field and laid an egg. And that's what every Georgia person calling needs to admit to, is that an egg got laid. So, you know what? I'm going to end on this. So, look, look, we've been listening and listening and listening. All right, you guys got to go to this. Y'all got to go.
No, I'm listening. Listen, you keep going, man. I'm letting you roll right now. You're on.
All right.
I didn't want to interrupt. You just keep doing your thing.
All right, no, by all means. No. So all at least the last 2 months. Post Florida, all we're hearing, washed up. This ain't the team. They're too young. They're too inexperienced. There's no coherency. There's no fluidness on that offensive line. What are they doing at right tackle? Oh no, the center. What's going on there? What's going on with Owen? Every week I call in. Everybody calling in. We're so down on this team. But I kept seeing like a 20% improvement here, a Billingsley improvement here, a Ja'Cory Brooks improvement here, better edge angles from Turner, right? From Dallas, and just week by week, 10%, 15% improvement at the defense together. But tonight he did. Tonight he did that 10 to 15% locked in. Everybody brought it. I'm watching that game with my nephew, who's one of the biggest Alabama fans I know. And when Battle missed that pick six right on that first drive, I go, man, we need that. We need every point we're going to get. And he said, Jay, he's going to make up for it. And he was right. I'm so happy Battle got that pick six.
How old is he?
Early in the game.
How old is he? Your nephew?
My nephew is 16.
Because I was saying the same thing you were saying, Jay. I was like, we could have used that. You know what? Your nephew was right. We didn't even need it.
I'm looking like early second quarter going, okay, that pick six would have helped us. That pick six would have set the bar a little too high. Georgia's going to crawl back in. They're going to crawl back in. And when Kirby kicked, when he went for that fourth down, I mean, my phone lit up. Every Georgia fan I know started buzzing me like, oh my God, he found a way. He has found his fake punt moment. It just reeked of desperation. It absolutely reeked of desperation. And what does that tell his players? What does that tell his guys? That in the third quarter, you're going for it on 4th and 10 instead of just taking the 3 and keeping it like an 11-point, 10-point game? Like Kirby, right? If you're going to point the finger, I loved how at the end of this game, Kirby was just, oh man, that's the kid, right? Bryce. We just Bryce. Like all he was talking about was Bryce. You know why? Because he had to find his excuse because he couldn't point the finger at himself.
Right.
Listen, Dog Nation, you don't point the finger, you point the finger at Kirby. Kirby didn't bring those guys correct. He didn't bring them ready mentally, physically, emotionally to play that game. And at the end of that game, the only thing Kirby should be saying is my guys weren't ready and that's on me. Stop talking about Bryce. Anyway, as you sound emotional,
Jay, look, man, I wanted to hear it, brother. You deserve it. You made the Drago. This is what happened in Rocky IV. You know, like I watched the movie. Rocky was definitely he was the former champ and he was an underdog and he knocked out the Russian. He actually got the Russian people were behind Rocky when it was all said and done.
The amazing thing is how many of the ESPN guys, how many of them were like, Bama has got no chance.
Not Corso, though, Jay. Did you see Corso put the Alabama head on?
I didn't watch
he put it on and he said Alabama's desperate. And he put that hat on with Sweet Home Alabama, which is a classic Southern rock song by a group called Leonard Skinner. And he put that on, and that told everybody that Alabama was going to win. He was the only one on the set that put that hat on and played that song and picked Alabama. And he was right.
Yeah. I just
desperate.
There are so many Georgia fans that just in Atlanta, man, it is so much talk, so much
smack talk,
bluster and hype. And man, they're going to go cricket. They're just going to go cricket. You ain't gonna hear a word.
Jay,
and I understand the guy was gracious who just called in, but you can't call on a night like that. You can't call and say you're still number one.
You're not number one. Yeah. Look,
come on,
Jay, I
I
got Nick Saban queued up here, but what I want to tell you, well, look, listen, Jay, hold on.
Thank you for letting me ramble and rage. I had to vent. I'm just so excited.
Look, Jay,
it's one of the greatest wins of Saban's career.
It is, Jay. And what I wanted to tell you was that to be the man, you got to beat the man. And the greatest, and look, I was a big Hulk Hogan guy. I'm not going to tell you any different. I love Hulkster, but the greatest wrestling champ of all time is Ric Flair. And he used to say it, man, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And they can't beat the man. The man is Alabama.
No, this is a huge blow. And you know what? The question was asked. If not now, when, Georgia? If not now, when? Ask yourself. That's a major question for that program and for that coach. If not now, when? If this is the statistically greatest defense we're going to see in 30 years and you can't bring it in your building, let's just call it what it is, that's Georgia's building. You couldn't hear the Alabama fans tonight. There's 2080 in there.
I know. I said that on the pregame show. It was going to be 2080. I said it on the pregame show. They spent every last dollar that they have to get into that game just to be disappointed.
If this is the greatest, and I'm saying it, if this is the greatest Saban win in his illustrious career, this is the worst Georgia loss. All right, guys.
Thanks, Jay. All right, look, if you're on hold right now, hold on. I'm going right back to the phones after we hear from Nick Saban. I'm just curious. I want to know what Nick Saban has to say. So Chris is going to play that. And then, look, this is a spectacular night. So I'm not gonna drop you. If you stay on hold, I'm going to your calls. But first, let's hear from the greatest coach in college football history. Chris, you got that ready? Then play it.
We're joined by the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, the 2021 SEC champions, Nick Saban. We'll go ahead and ask Coach Saban for an opening comment, and then we will take questions. Coach?
Well, I'm extremely proud of our coaching staff, our players, the entire organization. We've probably had to overcome more adversity, and this team has had to endure and have more resiliency from a competitive standpoint than probably most of the teams that we've ever had, and I'm really proud of them for that. Also, the competitive character that they have. Last week at Auburn, to come back and win the game, to come into this game that nobody thought we had a chance to win, and really go out there and perform well in the game against a really good team. Georgia should be congratulated on the great season that they had. To go undefeated is really something of significance. The SEC championship game is always a tough game. If you look back through the years, we've played 1 and 2 a couple times, 1 and 3 a couple times. So it's not easy. And I think that our players really prepared well for this game and executed extremely well, fixed a lot of problems that we had. So just a tremendous victory, team victory. Defense got a couple turnovers, a couple fourth down stops were very important. Offensive line did a really good job of blocking their pressures, gave Bryce the opportunity to operate, which he did a magnificent job of, all night. So great team win for us.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to start. Please give your name and affiliation. We're going to start over here, Coach, on the right side and 3 rows back.
Hey, Nick. Jeff Spiegel, WBMA, Birmingham. After the loss to Texas A&M, you said your team was no longer viewed as elite. What did tonight do in terms of regaining respect?
Well, I think it gave us an opportunity to have a 2-game season. We have a 2-game season now, I hope. That's what we're going to work for. That's what we want to do. These players have worked hard all year long. I think they deserved a lot of respect for what they've been able to accomplish and what they've been able to do. But at the same time, how are you going to look forward? I'm sure Georgia will get in the playoffs again and still, and they deserve it. They're a very good team. So, it's how do we move forward? We've created an opportunity for ourselves where we have a chance to play in the college football playoff. How are we going to prepare? How are we going to be committed to do the things we need to do? Obviously, we've lost a lot of really good football players this year on our team. John Mechie's probably going to be out. Now we have a couple other guys that, may be injured. It creates a lot of opportunity for a lot of other players, and hopefully, we'll be able to get them to step up. So, really, really pleased and proud of this team creating an opportunity to be in the playoff, to play in the playoffs. This is always kind of our goal. So I was really, really pleased and happy for the players to see them be able to accomplish that goal, especially the way they played tonight.
Before we take other questions, we're now joined by quarterback Bryce Young, who was the MVP tonight. Also, Jordan Battles. Gentlemen, we'll start with Bryce. If you could just give an opening comment, your reaction to tonight's game. Bryce?
Yeah, it was obviously a huge win for us. I'm super excited, super happy for the team. Kind of what Coach was saying is, just creating that opportunity for us. We know there's a long road ahead. We have that, we're hoping to get into that two-team season. So we got, that two-game season to prepare for, and, it's a good one. We have the 24-hour rule, and then we'll get back at it.
Thank you, Bryce. Jordan, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, I feel like it was a great game. I feel like we mentally prepared all throughout the week. We had some great practices, and it carried over to the game. But the main thing is, right now, just staying humble, not getting too big-headed. I know we beat the #1 team, but we got to stay on track, and we got to get ready and prepare for this, hopefully, two-game season.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. We'll now resume questions for either coach or the players. We'll go over here to our left-hand side. Please address who the question is for. Go ahead.
Yeah, Michael Casagrande, AL.com for Nick and Bryce. What changed in that second quarter offensively where things were struggling a little bit in the first quarter, but really exploded in the second?
I think it was just us as a whole. Obviously we wanted to get out to a better start than we did, but I think we all stepped up and we all answered the bell. We all understood, what was at stake. We all understood that we needed to step up. So, I'm blessed to have the teammates I do that. When our back's kind of against the wall, we understand to need to have a type situation. We kind of got our sparking and started moving. So, I'm happy we started to get going when we did.
I actually think that I agree 100% with what Bryce said, but I think sometimes when you start a game, the speed of the game gets you a little bit. The speed of their defense, maybe a couple times, their backs got outside of us because it was probably happened a little faster than what we'd practiced and what we're used to. And I think once you sort of get used to the speed of the game, like their pass rush and all that, I think you start operating a little bit better, and our efficiency got much better in the offensive line as well as on defense.
Okay, we'll go over here onto the right side on the end. Front row.
Richard Johnson, Sports Illustrated. Coach Saban, you talked about giving Bryce a lot of time to operate today. What were some things that got the pass protection better this week from the Iron Bowl to today?
Well, I think the offensive line really answered the challenge, that we sort of put to them in terms of them being more physical, in this game. They probably prepared a little better than I've ever seen them all season long in terms of studying the guys they had to block and the things they had to do. I think we did a little bit better job as coaches in terms of having some protection multiples that maybe we didn't always get as many guys out in the pass routes, but we also gave the quarterback time to operate. So, and sometimes when those multiples sort of can affect how you pressure on defense, and I think all those things probably contribute to us getting in a little better rhythm as the game wore on.
Okay, we'll go down here to our front left.
For Nick, you had mentioned before the game you weren't sure how players would respond to being underdogs in this game. Just how do you think they responded, and how much was that used as motivation?
I think what these guys really wanted to sort of gain was more respect. Not just the fact that they were underdogs, because I think we had a tremendous amount of respect for Georgia, their team and what they accomplished. But you guys gave us a lot of really positive rat poison. The rat poison that you usually give us is usually fatal. But the rat poison that you put out there this week was yummy.
All right, we'll go over here on the right, in front row, in the middle.
I don't know how to follow that. But, Bryce, how much? Usually the offensive line only gets attention from us when they give up 7 sacks or something. But how much did those guys impact this game against that defensive front?
Yeah, that was everything. You know, it was obviously that's a great front, a great defense, and we knew that coming in. And you know, I think they just kept hearing it, and like Coach said, they accepted the challenge and they really stepped up to the plate. You know, in the biggest moment in the season. So, in all the success that we have offensively, it always starts up front. So I'm glad that you said that. You know, you only hear about, people try to only say negative things about offensive lines in general and about our own line, but you don't understand every time that there's a positive play, and whether it's the run game, the pass game, whatever it is, nothing starts without our O-line. And they did an amazing job today. They stepped up to the plate, and I'm happy to have the guys that I do.
Okay, we'll go over here on our left-hand side.
Nick and Bryce, why were you guys able to have so much success against Georgia's defense today and make them do things I haven't seen them do much this season?
Bryce, you want to go ahead with that one?
Yes, so. Yeah, I think you know, that was a really good defense. You know, had really good players, great coaching, and you know, I think it was just about how we prepared. You know, we kind of wanted to all as offense take that challenge, and you know, you like Coach is saying, you hear the rat poison, and it was kind of against us this week, and you know, we took preparation very seriously, and we all understood the magnitude of the moment, and we all stepped up. So it was everybody, all 11. It was the coaches doing a great job calling plays, managing situations. So it was a team effort, and we know that it was a great win, and we have to keep on improving.
I still think that it started up front. Their front has been so dominant in terms of pressuring people, kind of taking them out of their game, that you could never, ever really get the ball, out very successfully on a very consistent basis, which is a tribute to them. Their scheme, their players are very good. And it still goes back to the offensive line did a very, very good job of allowing us to get the ball down the field and our receivers to be able to work in the passing game, which we knew was going to be something that was going to be really important in this game. And so it really started up front.
Okay, we're going to go straight in front of me in the second row, the middle.
Hey there, Lane Higgins from the Wall Street Journal. Coach Saban, you had mentioned earlier in the season that this team was young and was maybe a little inexperienced and immature at times, and you kind of had some choice words for them on some of your radio shows earlier. And I'm curious, if you could speak to the growth that you've seen now, and what specific areas have you seen this team change the most over the course of the season to this point?
Well, I think this team has shown tremendous resiliency, which I talked about before, to overcome adversity. We've had we were young, and we actually got younger because we lost players that gave opportunities to other players, and all those guys have stepped up very nicely for us. But the big thing I like about these guys is they responded the right way when they got beat. Nobody really ever thinks when I say sometimes it's not a bad thing to get beat. Jordan mentioned the word humility. Having respect for winning and what it takes to win and what it takes to prepare to win are all things that are really important. And sometimes when you win 19 games in a row, you lose a little respect for that. And I think that's something that from the Texas A&M game on, we've been able to grow as a team. We haven't always been the most consistent, but at times when we've played well, like we're capable of playing, we've been very, very good. And we're just trying to get that on a little more consistent basis. And I think the players understand that. These guys, you can coach guys, but they don't have to take coaching. And these guys have all done a marvelous job, in my opinion, of doing what the coaches ask them to do, trusting and believing in the system, trusting and believing in each other. And I think that's probably where we've made sort of the greatest strides in becoming a team.
Okay, we're going to go over on the right side, right here on the near aisle. Go ahead.
Johnny Condon, ABC 3040. This is for Jordan. After the Arkansas game, y'all were taking a lot of heat, especially in the secondary. You and DeMarco specifically the last 2 weeks in the Iron Bowl against Auburn and then again today, communication-wise, you guys seem to be on the same page. You guys made some big plays in this game tonight. Can you speak to your relationship with him and just you guys as a unit back there in the secondary and how you've really grown over these last few weeks?
Yeah, I feel like we did a great job with communicating and being on the same page. Like I said, this week in practice, that was the main thing, preparing mentally, because we know physically we got all the intangibles, all the everything. So just being on the same page, every play is a big key factor in the game because when we give up big plays, that's on us. And I think we did a great job focusing and on being on having one mind today. Actually, we talked about that in chapel before the game, having one mind. I want to give a big shout out to Jeremiah Castile, former player at Alabama. So, thank you.
Okay, we'll go down here right in front.
Nick, you talked about this past week in the Auburn game on that drive, the final drive, that Bryce, some of the biggest plays he made were when he just got rid of the ball to extend it. The touchdowns were easy to spot in this game, but what plays stood out to you the most that he made tonight that helped you guys get this win?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of big plays in the game, which was something that we wanted to. I think the Jamison Williams long touchdown in the beginning of the game, they came down and played two trap. The safety was supposed to trap him. We got through him, and I think that changed the momentum of the game a little bit for us, so that was really important. But from a coach's perspective, to be able to manage the last drive when we needed to take the air out of the ball and not keep giving them the ball back, which our defense was really, really tired when we played a lot of plays in the third quarter, that was huge. And a lot of those were 4-yard gains, 5-yard gains, 8-yard gains. So they weren't the big plays, but those are things that win games when you can take the air out of it at the end of the game and don't give the other team an opportunity to get back in the game.
Okay, we'll go in the center aisle. Brandon, it's right behind you.
Brandon Marcello, 24/7 Sports. This is for Coach Saban and Jordan. What did you guys do to really fluster Stetson Bennett tonight and obviously force him into a couple of huge mistakes?
Go ahead, Jordan, if you want to lead.
I think the main thing in this game was our disguises. We put in a lot of disguises this week, and that was a big thing. Have his eyes wandering around before the play. I feel like we did a good job in the back end and in the linebackers stemming and disguising. So I think that was a big part of the game.
Well, I think that, you try to change the picture as much as you can and make the quarterback try to make decisions after he gets the ball in his hand. And, Stetson Bennett to me is very instinctive, very good player. And if he knows what the picture is, and a couple times tonight when he knew what the picture was, that's when he made plays, and several big plays. So I think us changing the picture on him a little bit helped. And we have to play the ball better in the deep part of the field. We've had a couple of those the last couple of weeks that are things that we need to do better. But all in all, I think that was probably the one thing that helped it the most. And pass rush always helps you if you get good pass rush. And we affected him in the pocket. He scrambled some, which is, you hate, but you're also affecting a guy when you do that because you're not throwing the ball in town.
Okay, Aaron, we'll go right here in front.
Aaron Suttles, The Athletic. Nick, you know how difficult it is to run the ball in Georgia. You guys seem to commit to it, and I know some of it was Bryce running, but he averaged about 4.5 yards a carry. What was the key to that tonight?
Well, I think Bryce's, scrambles probably contributed to that as much as anything. B-Rob being able to play in the game and grind out some tough yards. I thought Trey did a good job. And again, it's got to go back to the offensive line. Being a little more physical in this game against a very physical front, big, athletic guys, quick on the edges. So we need to continue to try to develop a balanced attack so that we don't put ourselves behind the 8 ball down and distance-wise. I think that's when we're most effective.
We have time for 2 more. We'll start right behind Aaron in third row.
Blake Topmeyer, USA Today Network. For Nick or the players, could you foresee this coming? Was there any indication, throughout this week that a performance like this maybe was coming this weekend?
I'd say we always have faith and confidence in each other. As a player, we always have faith and confidence in the coaching staff. So for us, I don't think we ever really blinked or wavered. We understood the work that was necessary during the week, and we understood what we had to do to prepare. But we always have confidence in each other. We always believe in each other and push each other. So I think we're all confident going in.
I think from my perspective, when I think the players have the right mindset in terms of how they go through the week and how that leads up to the game, then their focus, their preparation are all things that created habits that are going to help them play better in the game. And when we do that, I think we usually perform well. Did I foresee this happening? I mean, sometimes you do all that and the other team makes some plays too. So, but I thought we had the right mindset in this game in our preparation for the game.
Okay, we'll take one final question right in front of me, about 3/4 of the way back. Go ahead.
Drew DeArmond, WCZN Radio. This is for Coach Saban and the players. Talk about the complimentary guys. You talked about John Mechie being injured, but in the second half, Slade Bolden, Trayshawn Holden, and Ja'Cory Brooks taking advantage of opportunities to make plays to help the offense win the game.
Yeah, well, I think we have some young guys, and I think that are going to get opportunities now. They certainly, Ja'Cory Brooks did it last week and this week, and I think, Slade played really well. But I also think that a lot of that comes from Bryce, having trust and confidence, in those guys as well. Because a good quarterback can make receivers look good, and those guys have to run good routes and do things the right way to get open. But I think his faith, trust, and confidence in those guys have helped their development tremendously.
Bryce, talk about the variety of guys that helped you on offense this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that stepped up with people being down, with just having to have rotation. I think Coach spoke to it well with the confidence that I have in them, and that's confidence in seeing how they work throughout the week, seeing how they work in the off season. So for me, even when it is the next man up, and it's not someone that might be particularly familiar to the field, I see how they work throughout the week, and the guys that stepped up. I had complete confidence, complete trust and faith in them, and we kind of built that rapport through how hard they work. So for those guys to step up in a moment like we did, it was definitely big for us.
And Jordan, from a defensive side, your teammates?
Yeah, it starts in practice. Good on good periods. You have the younger guys come in sometimes. When guys go down in practice, they come in, they give their 100% effort every time. Guys like Ja'Cory, who played tonight, guys like Trey Sanders, they practice hard, and then they come in the game and it's easy, or it's a good task, a well task for them. There's something they've seen before because they're going against a good defense in practice. So I think when they come out in the game and they have confidence because of how hard we practiced this past week.
Coach Saban, Bryce, Jordan, congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank the media for all the interest that you create in college football and college football players. These guys work hard. I know I had a little rant a couple weeks ago about how hard these guys work, and they're student athletes, and they have homework and have to go to class. But what you do to bring attention to what they accomplish and what they do, I think is really appreciated, and I want you to know we appreciate it more than you probably realize. Thank you.
Thank you.
There it is. Nick Saban making his comments from Atlanta. Chris Daughtry and me, Mick Gillispie. Look, I'm still absolutely floored by the way that the game turned out. Ben, let me give you a shout out right now, man. Thank you for all you do, Mick. Thank you, Trey. Don't thank me. Thank you. Congratulations to the coaches and the players for making their best game of the year so far. Look, I love everyone. Roll Tide. Right back at you, man. Thank you for the super chats. You guys, Chris and I were just talking about you guys during Nick Saban's press conference and just how much we appreciate all the super chats. Let's go back to the phone lines again and talk more about this game. We're burning the midnight oil. We got the Michigan Iowa game going. We're keeping an eye on Alabama basketball. And of course the Crimson Tide with a win. All right, you held on for 45 minutes. Who's this and where you calling from? Don't tell me after 45 minutes you're not there. All right, look, I'm putting you back in the queue. And when I come back, I hope you're still there because you held on that long. All right, let's go right back to the phones again. Who's this and where you calling from?
This is Nick from Utah. How you doing, sir?
What's up, Nick?
Not much, man. I was seeing how you thought about the game and everything.
I'm ecstatic, man. I mean, I'm ecstatic. I didn't see this coming. But I'm glad it did, and you never underestimate Nick Saban. But I'm telling you, this team played their best game of the season. They finally played a complete game, which is something that we've been wondering if it was possible.
Yeah, I totally agree because from the beginning, it's been the whole, play the full game. Don't have any hesitations, everything like that. And finally, we put the pieces together for a puzzle and for a W on the biggest night for the season, to be honest. And I know Georgia will make it into the playoffs, but honestly, after the win, do you think Georgia actually deserves a spot into the playoffs?
Yeah, I do. Look, I do, man. I know they got their butts whooped tonight, but I think they do. Like, They're still one of the best four teams.
They would have played games that we would have played to have a better conversation about that because I feel like we played tougher games than they did.
Well, I mean, look, they played Arkansas. They played Auburn. We played those teams and struggled. They didn't play LSU, but LSU sucked this year. I mean, let's be honest about that. I mean, they played a good game against us, and they still lost by 6. And their coach walked off the field like they won the game, losers. But I mean,
agree.
Honestly,
it's just weird because
it's a really good Georgia team.
I'm crappy against Auburn, and then we do this tonight. So I don't know what's up.
Every time we play Auburn, I was telling the guys here tonight this. When I got to Alabama, I played lacrosse at Alabama. We played Auburn, and it was one of the worst nights of my life. Like, we lost to them. Their fans were throwing bottle caps at us and stuff. I was like, this is legit, man. This isn't like, hey, we're playing a game. This is a different type of rivalry. So, and I've always remembered that Auburn, when Alabama and Auburn play, it legitimately throw out the records, but Georgia's one of the best four teams. No doubt in my mind.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just trying to clarify just because I expected of course, a close game, but I didn't expect what happened, I would say. So I just didn't know how people would interpret it, to be honest, in the long run, because like, hey, Georgia hadn't played a close game and then this happened. And then I'm just like, well, Alabama hadn't played consistently all year. So, I mean, you can't say anything, to be honest.
This is a good old-fashioned country butt whooping. I mean, Alabama took Georgia behind the shed.
They got bent over and they had to get the switch out of the tree.
So. Got a whooping. So where at in Utah are you from?
Logan, Utah, actually. So we got USU that won, and then we had Utah win also. So the Utah is actually a great state tonight.
I used to in baseball, the Hannigans are are from
Oh,
Utah. Yeah, and they're good friends of mine. Harold Hannikin, the dad. You know, like I play, like his son played baseball for the Cubs, and his other sons played football for I want to say Utah State and BYU. But great people.
Yeah. I went to Brigham. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dale
But,
Murphy.
yep.
No Murph too. So I've heard great things about Utah.
Oh yeah, Utah is great. We've been here for about 2 years now. Me and my wife moved here from Auburn, Alabama, actually.
Oh wow.
And she's an Auburn fan. I'm an Alabama fan, so it's a great evening every year.
Hey man, well, roll tide, my friend. Thank you for holding on for us.
Roll Tide. Hey, I got a question. Also,
Yeah.
real quick
Go
before
ahead.
you let me go, man. I just want to see where's Kyle Henderson and how's that relationship going with BamaInsider and everything.
Look, Kyle's still here. You know, I mean, he'll be on tomorrow afternoon. Kyle and I will be here, and I guess at noon we'll be waiting to see what the pairing is for the college football playoff. So, yeah, it'll be fun to see. Kyle's the guy that said Alabama was going to win. He was the guy because it wasn't me.
Yeah, he called it all night.
It was
and I
not
was
me.
like, nobody's on that train.
Nobody
Kyle
was
called
on
it
that
all
train,
week.
man. But Kyle,
Yeah.
good. Give Kyle a lot
and
of
I'm
credit,
like,
man.
Where's Kyle tonight? So I was wondering where Kyle was tonight, and I was just like, where is he at?
Yeah, well, look, we'll be on tomorrow about noon when they start the playoff show. Yeah, I got to give Kyle a lot of credit, man. It's my guy. Him saying Nick said that Alabama and Nick Saban were going to win this game. I was kind of looking at him going, okay, he's pandering to the audience. No, he wasn't. He had it. He saw it. I didn't see it. He saw it. So
Yeah,
good
he
for him,
saw
man.
it. He saw
Good
it.
guy.
I just didn't, he's a great guy. I just didn't want you to leave him for Travis.
No,
trying to
man.
make
But
sure.
make sure that you hang out with us tomorrow at noon when we figure out where Alabama's playing, because the season continues, my friend, as SEC champs.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time and have a great evening and roll tide.
Hey, roll tide. Sending it from right here in Fairhope out to Utah. All right, I'm going back to you again. Hopefully you're on here and we can talk.
Hello?
Hey, who's this and where you calling from?
You're from Brooklyn, brother. How you
Hey,
doing?
what's up, dude?
Long time. How's everyone? How you doing?
Listen, man. I'm as high as you can possibly be right now after that win. How about you?
You and I both. I had to prepare my hookah. I don't drink, so I had to prepare my hookah, the celebratory hookah right now.
Well,
Good mood.
can you send? I want you to send Chris a hookah and me a hookah as we talk to you tonight here in the studio, man. And roll tide.
I'm gonna set one for you guys. Roll tide, man.
Roll tide,
Great
man.
game. I mean, so what they talking about Georgia? Everybody keeps screaming Georgia this, Georgia that. I want to know, who did Georgia play? Who did Georgia play? We are Alabama, and we were the underdogs. Every game that we played as an underdog, we won by 17 or more points. Facts. And Georgia fans calling, screaming, we're number one still. You're not going to be number one. Michigan is playing right now, and they're actually playing well. So I'm scouting. I just don't want to face Cincinnati. I'd rather not have Cincinnati. I'd rather play Michigan. But we played a great game. Bill O'Brien, you just made yourself on the top list of the next coaches that will be hired. Thank you for your service, Bill O'Brien. You called a good game, a decent game.
Great point.
Great. As fans, as we were bashing him throughout the season about his play calling, he has come around and understand that the fans know what they're talking about. We are thankful. Pete Golden, you can remain as a DC at Alabama. I was going to say bring in Jeremy Pruitt, but hey, Pete, we're glad to have you. Now it's just time for us to, like Nate Saban says, GOAT Saban says, we have 24 hours. We're going to celebrate this and we're going to get back to work. Because we're not done. I just hope that this Heisman doesn't get over. This Heisman doesn't boost Bryce's ego, and I want him to stay the same. Win us a national championship. Because we just don't play for SEC championships. We play for national championships. You know? Defense, continue to play the way that you play. The linebackers today, Henry Toa and Christian Harris, round of applause for them. They stepped up big and played a solid game. Mistakes here and there, but they played a solid game, decent game. So now all we have to do is worry about how we're going to get to the Natty and how we're going to bring it back to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'm all the way in New York City, so I'm just going to celebrate from New York, but the train goes on. The train from Tuscaloosa to New York City is riding, and we're screaming Roll Tide. You know?
Yeah.
We just got to keep on going. Train don't stop till we have the Natty in our pocket. And Kirby Smart, you are a Steeler. You took everything you learned from Goat Saban and you brought it down to Georgia. And every time you see us, you shake because you can't steal from your master. They're always going to bite you in the behind. You can't steal from your master. You know?
Yeah. Look, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
You can't beat him. Georgia's going to have to find another way. You can't beat Saban. And I'm going to say that. Shannon Sharp said it the best. You can't beat your boss. Jeremy Pruitt, what's his name? Jimbo? He did it by luck. That game right there was just by luck. I don't even want to talk about Fisher because he knows that he's not going to beat us again in his tenure at A&M. And that team in Auburn, that was a good game, decent game. It's a rivalry. But, hey, tonight we celebrate. I told you I got my hookah ready, and I'm blowing it down for you guys over there in Tuscaloosa. I'm blowing one down for the GOAT, you know. And we just going to keep going.
We appreciate it.
Take this win and big on it. What I got to say right now is God bless Coach Saban. God bless me. God bless you. God bless Kyle. God bless Alabama football. God bless the state of Alabama. God bless Donald Trump, 2024. And God bless America and no place else. Roll Tide.
Hey, Roll Tide, man. You're one of my favorite callers, by the way. I hope you know that.
I'll continue to call. I'm sorry I've been away for a while.
I know, dude. I know. But don't forget, I'm on every Sunday night taking calls.
Yes, sir.
You're one of my guys.
Sir,
I appreciate
I'll
it,
be
man.
around. No word.
Roll Tide. Thank you, man. All right, right back to the calls again. I'm going right back to your calls as we hang out. Eventually, I got to end this, but I don't feel like it. I know Chris is over here going, I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I'm taking your calls right now because I'm on cloud nine. Alabama with a whooping over Georgia in the SEC championship game. Who's this and where you calling from?
Kevin, Dallas, Georgia. How you doing this
Dude,
evening, man?
this is why I stayed on, Kevin, because I wanted to hear from you, my man.
I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. I just want you to know, as far as this have to be open with you, Mick, and that is in reference to I'm going to need your assistance. You know, I'm in the Commonwealth of Georgia and being an Alabama fan, not only from birth, but et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to need your assistance as far as getting me out of jail is on Monday. And the reason why is because I will have my Alabama paraphernalia on from head to toe. And that being the case, I'm going to need your assistance. The bail money is under the carpet on the front porch. Just want you to be aware of it. So I know it's going to take you a little while to get to Dallas, but hey, I just want you to be aware of that. But, you know, that notwithstanding, question, Mick, and that is, will Alabama be in Miami or Texas as far as first round in the playoffs? I know that the Natty's played in Indianapolis, but as far as will they be in Texas or Miami?
First off, I'm going to tell you this, Kevin. I would love to watch a football game with you, man. I think you and I would have a good time watching a football game. I think Dallas is our spot, man. I think that Dallas is, you know, that it's that Bryant-Denny West spot that
Southwest, yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying, man. Like we go to Dallas, we all hang out at Gillies because we saw that movie Urban Cowboy. We go in there and we stomp who we play, and then we head wherever we're heading for the next place. You know, I like Miami. This is the problem with Miami. When we were down there for the Notre Dame national championship game, it's hard to get in and out of that Hard Rock Stadium. Like they have one way in and one way out. as the Allman brothers say. I put me in Dallas. That's how I feel.
And I think that'll be the case, Mick, because normally, as far as when it comes to University of Alabama in the playoffs, it's normally as we all know, Mercedes-Benz is Alabama East. So, it's only fitting that we would go to Alabama Southwest as far as Texas. Then as far as the third of the four spots would be, fourth of the four spots would be Miami. But as far as the grades across the board, Mick, would be A- as far as offense, A- as far as the defense. The only, times that I would, probably poke the bear as far as defensively on that 3rd and 15, we should have just straight coverage and not, straight coverage and not blitz. And then we could have, gotten our way out of that particular situation. But one thing I have to, pull the extension cord as well as the switch out this evening about, Mick, and that's in reference to those Alabama fans that not only on the female side, but more on the male side that were clutching their pearls when it came to as far as the University of Georgia, talking about the University of Georgia was the best defensive team since, the Purple People Eaters, the Doomsday Defense, as well as the Steel Curtain, all rolled up into one.
Well, hold on. Hold on, Kevin. And the 85 Bears with Refrigerator Perry and Mike Singletary, and the 2000 Ravens with Ray Lewis. And continue your point.
Thank you very much. And all rolled up into one. But I didn't see them in attendance this evening. I saw 99 play 2 plays and then had to go take breathing treatments the next 4 plays. And then he'll play 3 plays, then he have to breathing treatment again for the next 6 plays. And I look back as far as last night. I know we'll see Georgia again as far as the national championship. There's no doubt in my mind in reference to that. But as far as some of the guys that were on that other sideline, that the year that Kirby left was pretty much a given that they were going to Alabama. And one of them is N'Kobe Dean. It was pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered that the young man from Mississippi was going to be wearing crimson for 4 years. The same as far as with Nolan. And I could only wonder as far as what's going through the mind of those 19 guys that Coach Smart convinced. Don't go to the league, but play your senior year. So I can only imagine as far as what's going through those guys here this evening. Like, wow, should I have gone out as far as last year, or did I make the right decision as far as coming back?
You make a great point, my friend.
But as always, a pleasure to speak with you, Mick. I'm going to exit stage left, but I just want you to be aware that you may receive a call from my cell phone 251. And if you do, it's because I had conduct that was not exemplary of a teacher as far as Monday, but I would not have opened my mouth. It's just been simple as far as for my paraphernalia. So I don't want you to think I've used some non-Sunday school words as far as on the school grounds, but it was just a matter that they saw we got 18 and then the listing on my back, and the Georgia fans couldn't handle it. Oh, one other thing real quick.
Yeah.
And as far as what you may also find out as far as on the news, if you watch national news, that you'll see that Wellstar Hospital in Georgia was overrun by Georgia fans because of going into cardiac arrest. Wellstar in Georgia is like South Alabama Hospital is in Mobile. So if you see that Wellstar is being overrun this evening, Mick, it'll be because of Georgia fans going into cardiac arrest because of the game this evening.
Hey, look, man, the thing that I want to tell you is next time you come to LA to watch a game, we got to watch it together. We got to hang out and watch the game together.
Chicken dinner. Because, hey, we only have 2 more weeks before the break, so I will be in Mobile starting on the 20th of December until the 5th of January.
Yeah, I would love to hang out with you, man. You killing it.
Well, I would definitely.
You're an All-American caller. You're into that status right now.
Well, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Always a pleasure to speak with y'all, Mick. Hey, y'all take care. Roll Tide roll, and hey, look forward to speaking with you tomorrow night.
Hey, thanks, man. Talk to you tomorrow night. That's Kevin from Dallas, Georgia. That's an All-American caller right there. That, Chris, is what when you come on the show, you bring that. You come from Buffalo, you come from Huntsville, you bring that heat. That's how you do it right there, man. We got some great calls. All right, look. I'm hanging out with you guys tonight because this is what we do this job for. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell, share as you hang out with us, and I'm going right back to the calls. So if you guys are here, get to your point and tell us where you come from. Who's this and where you come from?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Todd Wolf. How are you doing?
What's up, man? Where you come from?
Yo, calling from Birmingham, Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Listen, this is my first time. Roll Tide, bro. Like, great game tonight. It's my first time calling, but I listen to it all the time, and I had to get on here and troll these Georgia fans.
Troll them.
We own
Troll them, man. Troll them. This is your night.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to troll them because it's been all song. All I've heard is how good they are, great they are. Look, who have they played? Who have they played? Please tell me. Who have they played? No one. Now, since this happened, it looks like they played no one all season long. They haven't been battle tested. As soon as they get battle tested, they get beat by almost 20 points by a team that everyone says has done nothing but struggle. But Alabama has punched adversity in the mouth so many times this season and times before. They hang it up on us. They're done. Nick Saban's done. Just like the year when we had Jaker and we dropped the L to Ole Miss. They're washed up. Got to go back to the drawing board. What if Cisco wins the national championship?
Yeah, look, I know, man. Like, who would have thought that they were going to get knocked out like they did tonight?
Well, but I'll be honest with you. I thought that I honestly probably would not win this game. And then when we got 6 picks, I knew it was over with. Especially in fourth quarter when we scored the last time. Like, and Georgia fans are just they're so much in denial. They think win a national championship because they've got Nick Saban's.
Hey, you still there? Did we lose you? I think we lost him. But look, great points there. I'm going right back to the phones again. Listen, like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up. And he made some great points, man. Alabama, big win tonight. Who's this and where you calling from?
Roll Tide Rich.
Play it, baby. Play it.
Woo! Roll Tide. Yeah, baby. Back on top once again, and it feels oh so good.
It does feel good, man.
Hey, I felt this feeling before, but it feels a little bit more sweeter. They tried to feed us that rat poison. The rat poison's a little bit yummy tonight. Yes, sir. Hey, glad you have me on the call right now. Big Roll Tide fan. I'm in Orlando, Florida right now, but I'm out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So I'm away from home, but I'm feeling like I'm home right now.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Hey, Roll Tide, man. Roll Tide.
Listen. I don't want drop the Nick. It's Coach Goat Saban. It's Coach Goat or nothing else. Nothing else. Coach Goat.
He is the GOAT.
Yes, sir. I ain't gonna hold you up. I got a couple more beers to drop down.
Hey,
Roll Tide,
hey,
baby.
listen, in Orlando, drop them down for me.
Yes, sir.
Drop them down for me. Roll
Thank
Tide,
you,
my friend.
I will.
All right, Roll Tide, man.
Roll
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Right back to the phone lines again. Coach Goat Saban, who's this and where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Tuscaloosa Mike. Yeah, I talked to you a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't concerned. I told you that the fans need to get off of the Alabama players. Alabama, they was trying to work out the kinks. And, you got a quarterback throwing for 400, 500 yards a game. And it was just a matter of just get a guy a little bit of protection And Bryce Young, he won the Heisman Trophy last week, not this week when he won the game against Auburn with that drive. Like I said, like I told you last week, if he don't win the Heisman Trophy this year, they need to stop giving out the trophy because there's nobody in college football that's played as good as this man has played. And the good thing about him is that we got him coming back for another year. And as for his niece or whoever she was that called in, she said a lot of good things, but like I said, I think she got over enthusiastic when she called the offensive linemen losers. I didn't particularly like that comment, but I think she was just, she was just excited about the win. But yeah, like I said, Alabama, whoever they play, it's going to be a tough game for them. Hopefully the receiver is not injured. I don't know what his injury status is, but from what Saban said, he might not see no more action. He might have tore his ACL.
That's what we're being told.
About
Mechie's out. He's not playing anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what Saban said in his press conference. So he won't be available, but hopefully one of the second tier guys can come in and do something and help him. But yeah, let me say this about Georgia right quick, man. That guy who called in a lot earlier who said that Georgia was still number one. No, you're not number one, my man.
Nope.
You haven't been number one as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, everybody has talked about their schedule. And then, like I said, you have a second-tier quarterback. This guy here, I never had no faith in him to begin with, the Georgia quarterback. They should have went to the Daniels guy when he threw the pick six. I think Smart made a bad decision by not bringing in the backup, to see what he could do. The game, they still had a chance to get involved in the game, and he didn't bring the man in. So he stuck with his quarterback and cost him the game as far as I'm concerned. But one thing I saw, what Georgia needs to do, if Georgia wants to compete with Alabama, and everybody on television saw it tonight, they defensive backs are not fast enough to run with to run with the Alabama receivers. You saw that all night long. It's Kirby Smart. If you want to beat Alabama, my man, you better get yourself a quarterback and you better get you some defensive backs that know how to run real fast, because that's the only way you're gonna beat Alabama. And you're gonna continue to fall short when it comes to Nick Saban in championship games, my man, until you make those changes. Yeah, Georgia's made some improvements, but they still ain't there. And I guarantee you this, my man, that Georgia, that was a long bus ride back from Atlanta back to Athens, Georgia. I bet you that bus was quiet as a mouse. I played football, and I know what it's like when you have a bad defeat like that. So I know them Georgia players are quiet as a mouse. Everybody in Athens, they probably got the lights turned out right now in Athens, Georgia, my man. I bet you it's like a ghost town. It's like a ghost town. Them guys was talking a lot of trash last week about what they was going to do to Georgia with this doomsday defense. This purple people eaters. You named all the top defenses, the Baltimore Ravens defense. They didn't show me nothing tonight.
Don't forget the Bears in '85, man. Don't forget the Bears in '85.
Yeah, Bears 85.
Fridge and Singletary and Dent and all them guys.
Yeah,
come on.
Oh yeah, they was a complete joke. Like I said, enjoy that bus ride back to Athens, Georgia, Georgia Bulldogs, and like I say, turn out the lights when you get back home, because I promise you won't nobody be coming to visit you this weekend, because nobody wants to be around the loser. And I thank you for taking my call tonight.
Roll Tide. Great call. Hey, look, I'm taking your calls right now. I'm doing it until we say it's over, because this is a championship night for Alabama. Who's this and where you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, who's this and where you calling from?
This is Sam calling from Miami.
What's up, Sam?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm an Alabama fan, right? And the only thing that I was concerned about with Alabama is their youth. Because a lot of them is young, and they're not like, the former Alabama players used to be. And it's all like commentator said earlier about matching up. And some games that they played against Auburn and Texas A&M, a lot of them teams, like those teams, they didn't really have another game. So they come out, they were throwing everything at Alabama. And And the offensive line was the true. They got a true offensive line, but with a couple of freshmen in it. But with Nick Saban, and when it comes down to Georgia, only thing that I was worried about was that they inexperienced and they let a lot of the pressure get to them. But in this game, they were well prepared, and they came out. The offensive line stood up, and they one of the only teams that go man to man. So if the quarterback got time, they're gonna make a couple of plays. But I just didn't like how they kept letting the tight end just get open like he was. But all in all, Alabama's still the best team in the country, and you can see that. It's just the fact that they just really can't get the running game going like they want to because of a lot of the running backs are injured. And Robinson get going, they would have been unstoppable this year. And that's the only thing that I could see that was wrong with Alabama. Alabama got too many great players on their team. And with Mechie going down, it's really not a problem. It is because he's a starter, but with the backups, they just as capable to carry the load just like Mechie. And as long as O'Brien keep calling plays the way he did today, Georgia cannot match up with Alabama, period, at all, especially with wide receivers. And if Bryce Young get time, it'll be the same outcome again if they meet again. And I don't really see nobody in the playoff that can do anything with Alabama. Nick Saban is a past team too good. And all the other teams, it's like when they play Alabama, they play those eggs here because they be guessing what Nick Saban's gonna do too. But there's no worry about Alabama. I expect the game to be close, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that. But we know what Alabama's capable of when they're clicking on all cylinders. So I just wanted to call and thank you for accepting my call.
Well, thank you for calling in, man. Roll Tide. Great call from Miami. All right, I'm going right back to the phone lines again because I want to hear from you guys before we wrap things up tonight. Like and subscribe, share as you hang out with us here on the Bama Insider YouTube channel after Alabama with a dominant win in the SEC championship game. Who's this and where you calling from?
Man, what's up, man? Uncle Charles, man.
Uncle Charles, dude, where have you been, man? Where have you been?
I've been watching your show up there and trying to get on, but I just couldn't get on. But I'm on today, though.
Okay. I haven't heard from you in a while, Uncle Charles, but I was wondering if you were still out there.
Yeah, I'm still around, man. Let me just say this. In all fairness, let's just be honest. Let's just be really honest as Alabama fans. I don't want no Alabama fans to come in here and say they were just a little bit worried. Because you would not be a true fan if you said you wasn't worried to live here. But I said to myself, wait a minute. I said, now, Georgia is running over people. And then Alabama is just struggling. Maybe it's the opposite thing. Maybe it looks the opposite way. Maybe we're really not struggling. Maybe it's just a scheme, or we just not putting a full effort into blocking it, or maybe we don't have an offensive line line up where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to put your best players out there, even if you have to put a freshman out there. Let me explain something to you. I don't care about Georgia crime. I really don't. You know why? Because they over there and we over here. And you ought to learn that Nick Saban will not let one of his assistant coaches leave when they can out-coach him. Kirby Smart, you ain't that smart. I thought you were, but you ain't. But you know what, man? Let's not be scared of dogs, because I was when I was 8 years old. And one dog bit me. And when I was little, I said, man, I don't never want a dog because the dog bit me. And the lady said, come here, son. I seen that dog bite you. So the next time that dog chase you home, I want you to come up in my house, come through the front door, go through the back door, and shut the door. Now, this lady was known as 50 to 60 cats. And Lord knows that house didn't smell too good. And that dog came around again. And he chased. She said, come on. She said, come on. And I ran in the house, shut the door, she shut the front door. And them cats came out and they tore his behind up. See? Now you see now, the dog was distracted. He wanted me so bad, he didn't know about them cats. See, they was distracted. Everybody was telling them to roll over. You know those young men listening to that? My wife asked me, she said, what you want me to do? I got your Alabama shirt. Do you want me to put it in the washing machine? And I said, sure, of course. I wore my Alabama shirt today. I wore my Alabama hat today, and I wore it with pride. And I said, win, lose, or draw, I'm with my boys all the way. Win, lose, or draw. Georgia, you will never beat us. Stop trying. We're tired of whooping you. You know what? We don't whoop you so much. We thought you was going to win this time. And it was the other way around. And that's all I got to say, man.
Uncle Charles, is great to hear from you, man. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
Love Uncle Charles. One of my favorite callers. And we don't hear from him enough. All right. Couple more calls before we wrap things up tonight on a championship Saturday where Alabama knocked off the Georgia Bulldogs. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes. Am I on? I wasn't sure. I'm trying to turn the TV down.
You're on right now. Yeah. Tell us what you think. Tell us. Come at us.
This is my first time calling in and getting to talk to somebody, so I'm very excited.
Well,
my name is Martha.
What's up, Martha?
I grew up in Alabama, and so that I figured, I'm blessed, because I was born into it. And last week I was so worried. I was in Arizona visiting my sister and my nieces and things, and oh my goodness, I was just like, but we got through it. And after the game, I get all these texts from my siblings, and they were like, "Oh Lord, you think we ought to call out sick?" Oh, oh my goodness, they had all this stuff, and so I said, I'm gonna read you my text. I said, yes, it was a struggle win. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, you're telling us. I'm listening. I'm paying close attention.
This is I'm reading what I sent them after all that national team. Struggle win. At least we have the Iron Bowl win this year and the satisfaction of Ohio State losing to Michigan. Then I said, people can't let us celebrate in peace because there was something about people just being all whatever. And then I said, the bottom line is this. Just like Auburn gave us a game, we need to remind the dogs that we're going to bring our A game to them. We could be scrappy too. And then, tonight I said, like I said, we be scrappy. Roll Tide Road. And then one of my siblings, I'm glad we didn't call in. I said, yeah, little face. And I said to all the people who bet against Alabama, because I've been watching the pre-games all day, I hope you didn't use your rent money. And then I had another comment from one of my siblings. I said, daggum right. I did have my bottle of Pepto-Bismol ready, just in case we did an Auburn in the last 2 minutes. And the offensive line did not offend us as they have done recently. And but
that's
I guess,
funny.
and then it's like I ended with, I guess the SEC shorts is going to show Georgia pepper spray and hope again. I enjoyed the game, but people they just act like, a win is a win. As long as you got 1 point more than the other people, you won. I don't know why people think we can just blow out other 5-star recruits. We got our batch, but it's like we can put together we can be scrappy. People act like we just always going out there and if we don't beat them by 95 points or whatever, but no, we struggle. We got to, put it together and get our, shoulders to the wheel or whatever. But I'm like, they did a great job. I was so proud.
Me too.
And but people don't have faith. It's like, Georgia gonna want to beat us, but over the years, Georgia's in the East, and think about it, they just not started dominating the East. Florida, they owned us in the 90s, so Georgia's never owned us like that. I don't think. Well, I don't remember. But people just getting ahead of themselves. Kirby has done a really good job with Georgia. So but they were worthy opponents. But man, we got out there. That offensive line plugged up some holes, and they started protecting the quarterback. I was thinking, well, he needs to stop taking them to that Longhorn Steakhouse because he's feeding them.
Yeah,
too
he
much. They
does.
can't move.
He
You know,
does.
he needs to save his money. But they, they came through. And then last week, I was like, look, I know they want him to be in the pocket. But remember when Jalen was there, they wanted Jalen to stay in the pocket. But when Jalen saw a hole, he'd go through it. And we missed a couple of touchdowns last week because he was in the pocket. And there was a big old open space between this young man and the end zone. Well, tonight, what did he do? He went for those open spaces like he's supposed to.
Hey, look, this guy's.
So that's what it takes.
And no offense to Jalen, and I love Jalen, but Bryce is way better than him at quarterback.
Oh yeah, but see,
way better.
You gotta remember, Jalen was just out of high
And
school.
look, Jalen was great too, but
And
this
he
guy's
was
going to be
alone.
Alabama's first Heisman Trophy winning quarterback.
Wait. Remember, Jalen was on the pilot squad for Deshaun Watson out of high school, and then all the other quarterbacks left. He didn't have anybody to be camaraderie or whatever.
I know, and I love Jalen, and my aunt will tell you, Aunt Diane, I love Jalen as much as you guys. But
I was there when he dropped that ball in the Advocate Bowl. That was his first, his first snap, and everybody was like, "Oh, pull him out!" No, because he had to work. He was alone. He didn't have the advantage that McClellan. What's that? AJ had. He had the redheaded guy. His goodness, Greg. He had Greg, and then the quarterback. Greg had that Parker Wilson and somebody else. They always had a little, crew that would help. The older one would help the younger one. But Jalen ended up being by himself because after that game at the Advocate Bowl, everybody but one boy left. So Jalen was just there. So I'm just saying. And I taught my little she's my grandniece, but I call her my niece. I taught her, but she was so bad. Every time she saw a red jersey, she'd go, "Oh, go Jalen Hurts." And I didn't want to tell her. She was looking at Oklahoma before he went to Oklahoma. And every time she saw somebody running in a red jersey, and then I took her to Mobile to the Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, you got to look at all the things going on.
Oh,
we
yeah.
did a great job, and I'm proud of the team. And how they, like you said, they had to, think about it. Hey, we got to play. We can't just be out there expecting to win when we step on the field.
You're right.
No.
You're right.
And,
well, where are you calling from
Nick
tonight?
say, the rat poison. He said the rat poison was delicious.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was delicious. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tallahassee, Florida. You know it's real long.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, I want you
Florida.
to tell everybody that you live around, from me and Chris in here in the studio, send them all Roll Tide, please. A big Roll Tide.
I sure will. I will.
Hey, thanks for waiting.
In Arizona.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, look, I listen. I spend at least a month every year out in Arizona, so I know I love Arizona. I love Scottsdale and Tempe and all those places.
Alabama too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Roll
When I
Tide.
was on the plane. I had this little clear bag, and people like, "Ooh!" And then, what about that game? I said, "Oh, honey, I was praying so hard, but we pulled it off."
Your prayers were answered tonight. Your prayers were answered tonight.
Yeah. But see, Georgia's still gonna be able to make it. And see,
Hey, look,
Nick
Georgia's
said,
in. I'm
sometimes
not kicking them out, but I'm just telling you, tonight was our night.
No.
Tonight was our night.
Oh yeah.
Roll Tide.
Oh, yeah. When Nick said, when he played Texas A&M and they lost, I was like, if Nick had to lose to somebody, who better to lose to than a 2-loss team?
Yep.
Nick, he knows how to coach. He knows how to coach. You talk about a goat. He's the mountain goat. You have a great
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Another great call. All right, one more, and that's it for tonight, guys. So I'm going right back to the phones again. Chris has some things to do in the morning, and I'm going to you right here. Where you calling from tonight?
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm calling from Tennessee, near Knoxville.
We're at near Knoxville.
Jefferson City.
Oh, Jefferson City, man. I used to live in Dandridge.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I go to Carson Newman.
Hey,
I live in Georgia, though, right next to the Alabama line.
yeah, I know where that is. Well, roll Tide, man. What'd you think about tonight's
Heck
game?
yeah.
Go ahead and throw it at us.
Okay, well, I had one major issue. We knew that Bowers was the main guy they were going to get the ball to, and we still just could not stop him. And I feel like if we play him again, I feel like at least for maybe like the second half of the game, we're going to see JT if it goes the same way tonight went. And JT's just going to be better at getting him the ball. So I feel like we need to stop Bowers and make everyone else make plays.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those things, though, where it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe, but you know what? When you play a game like tonight, you don't have to worry about it.
I mean, yeah, true. They played really good, and you know, nothing makes me more happy than seeing Alabama beat Georgia, because my whole family is Georgia fans, and the whole game I was thinking about Thanksgiving when they were, oh, Alabama's just going to get whooped up on this year. And they were saying, oh, just if Georgia wins this one, everything's going to change. The dynasty's over. And I was like, well, they may win, but they ain't going to blow us out like everyone thinks they will.
Yeah, they didn't blow us out, did they?
No, sir. I think we handled our business pretty well, to
We
be
did.
honest with you.
We did.
But I have, okay, so was it just me, or did the offense kind of take their foot off the gas after the first touchdown in the second half? I feel like we slowed down after that.
I think we had them in an anaconda, which is a stranglehold, and it was like, why do anything to mess that up? Make them make a play.
Well,
and you know what I'm saying? Like at that point, it's like, look, we're going to make them make a play to get back in the game, and then we'll take some risks. But why take a risk at that point? Like Alabama killed them tonight. Like you don't want to do anything that's going to get them back in the game. I thought that the game plan tonight was perfect.
Yeah, I do understand that. I would have felt a little better about it if we could have got up and then just ate the clock with the run game. But I was still nervous. Even with like 7 or 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I was like, man, we just cannot chew the clock. But thankfully it didn't matter. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I didn't think Mechie would be hurt that bad, though. I saw that he tore his ACL, but it looked like to me he was out there, walking on the sidelines pretty fine, but I don't know.
It's over. Yeah, his season's over. So all those 5- and 4-star guys that we recruited, it's time for them to start making some plays, because moving forward, it's their game. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
And I hate it for Mechie, because he's been great. He's been awesome.
Yes. I believe that some of these younger guys should have gotten a shot more than they have so far in the season anyway.
Yeah.
Not necessarily over Mechie, but now they don't have an option. They have to step
It's
up.
game
But,
time.
I'm confident. I'm confident in them. They've, just like last week with Auburn, Ja'Cory Brooks, he showed he can ball. And so, I'm confident. But anyways, I don't want to keep you too long. I'm just freaking pumped that we won, and then I got on the show, and roll Tide, baby.
Hey, roll Tide, man. Thank you for your call. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Good night. You have a good one.
You too. All right, last call of the night, and I'm doing it because you've been waiting 20 minutes to get on this show. Last call of the night. Who's this and where you calling from?
What's going on, man? This is Keith from Montgomery, Alabama.
What's
Roll
up,
Tide.
Keith?
Not much. I just want to piggyback off of what the guy said just a few minutes ago. It seemed like we are more of a second half team this year from the past teams. And a lot of analysts count us out before the game, saying Georgia's going to beat us. Paul Feinbaum, they're going to beat us by 15. Well, open your eyes, wake up. It's not a dream. Roll Tide. We destroyed them.
We whooped their ass.
We sure did.
I mean, this
And to
wasn't
all
even a
the
game, dude. This wasn't even a game.
It wasn't. To all the new Georgia fans, which is originally Auburn fans, because we beat them in good fashion, I'm going to rub it in their face tomorrow at work. Roll Tide.
Where do you work at?
And Montgomery, Alabama, Baptist South Hospital.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. Wear your gear with pride because you you deserve it.
Oh, I sure will. I'm going to wear my Alabama hat tomorrow. Roll Tide, and we're going back to the chip this year. Win it again.
Hey, thank you for the call, man. Roll Tide, my friend.
No problem. God bless.
All right, guys, look, we have extended our normal window of time when we were supposed to talk probably by about 30 or 40 minutes, but hey, this is what it's all about. Tomorrow noon we'll be on for the college football playoff selection show. We'll figure out where Alabama's going to play. And then tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, I'll be back on for the call-in show. I'm elated. I've got a big plate of crow I got to go inside and eat right now. And I got some hot sauce and a little salsa to go on it, and I'm going to eat it with joy. No, I'm just kidding. Look, guys, all of you that have hung out with us tonight, we really appreciate it. Chris has been out here, Chris Daughtry hanging out with me, and Trey Yanity, and Tony Sukalis are in Atlanta, Kyle Henderson, our entire crew. Man, we appreciate you guys more than you know. What a night for Alabama. Final score, 41-23. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging out with us. Again, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Alabama season continues as SEC champs. They finally put together a full, complete game, and they whooped Georgia. That's all there is to say. There's a new number one, and they're in Tuscaloosa. We'll figure out where Alabama is playing and who it is tomorrow, and I hope you'll be there for that. Good night, everybody, and Roll Tide.